Hey, you guys. How's everybody doing? How is everyone doing? Hey, Diane. Hey, Tyranny. I decided to get on for like an hour because I need to start getting prepared for next week. Hey, positive vibes. Y'all, what's going on tonight in the YouTube streets? Hey, on one we go. If y'all can hear my filter, my friend gave me a filter, and I'm gonna tell y'all something. He had been saying he was like, I have a it's like one of those. It's a real nice one, and he was like, he was like, I got an extra one, and he had been constantly saying, I got an extra one, and I went to his house and got it, probably like a week or so ago, and now I'm using it, and I promise you, what this filter does is it pulls in. It's a big one. It pulls in like the dust and all of that, and it cleans the air, and it helps with like allergies and like the pollen, like dust and all of that. So I had this cleaning service to come in, and I actually paid them for like a month because I needed them to like clean, like get some stuff speaking span because I'm moving. And I promise you, they got that oven looking like it is brand new. It looks like it is brand new. Thank you, Mildred. How is everybody doing? So, and that filter um puts out cool air too. It's just really nice. So, all of that good stuff. Hey, Caramel. Hey, Kawana. Hey, Tamarian. Y'all, what's going on in the YouTube groups? I got on so I could just vibe with y'all, to see what's going on, to just kind of hang out. Whatever topic y'all on, that's I'm on. That's what I'm on. Whatever y'all on, I'm on the same thing. Cause I'm just kind of vibing tonight. I didn't really have anything specific, but I just wanted to come and hang out with y'all. It ain't nothing going on. Girl, I be scared now to look at like the Memphis news because it's like it's been so much stuff going on. I'm like, Lord Jesus, it's sad. I haven't checked to see. Does anyone know if they've caught those two guys from out of New Orleans? Have they caught the new guys from out of New Orleans? Ray J says he wants to sleep with Kevin Hart, but I think it's a distraction from. Oh my God, Diddy gonna be mad if Ray J saying he want to sleep with Kevin Hart. Diddy is going to be mad at him because Ray J know him and Diddy been going together forever. Diddy gonna be mad. Y'all, what is going on with? Mm, mm, mm. Just The Massey dude was spotted in. Lord have mercy. So he in Tennessee. So is that the one that's been making the videos? The Massey guy? You know what? I wish he would. They just need to surrender because I mean, I know it's got to be. That's not a quality of life that they would want to live. You know what I mean? Constantly looking over their shoulder. Where can they go? Where can they go? The light skinned guy, he's put himself. Everybody is going to remember him, so he can't go out to nowhere. He was on somebody's ring cam, so he trying to get up in somebody's house. Well, I mean, it would seem to me now he probably is in Memphis because he can come to Memphis and nothing's gonna happen. Okay, I can promise you that right now. He'll blend. He'll just fit right in, and the police is gonna ride him. They're gonna see him and ride right on by him because they're not gonna give a damn because they've tried to put the police on autopilot so the damn criminals can have their way in Memphis. I'm telling you. So that would be a good place. So he can go and hang out, be on Beale Street and all that shit. Ain't nothing gonna happen. They said, hide your kids. So he was on somebody's ring cam trying to get up in their house. Now, see, he's getting desperate. Now, I would have to say he's dangerous at this point. He's dangerous. I would be scared of him. Come on here, boy. Get up here. Because I don't know what's going on with you, but you got me messed up. Get off of her damn back. What is you trying to do to her? You done lost your mind. Then try to act like he bad. You try to jump on her back, I'm going to whoop your ass. You better lay down. You stay out. You stay away from her. That's what you do. Because, see, you about to get a whooping. Sit over here by me. I don't trust him. And I got this paper for you, too. It says a desperate man is a dangerous man. Yes. It says no, he was next door to the house that caught him on the ring. Oh my God. Oh Lord, why won't he put it? He don't wear no mask. It's something wrong. He about to get every damn body in trouble. That's helping him because he won't put on a Pooh Shiesty mask. Be quiet. They said then it's a white man that escaped in Arkansas. Oh Lord. Now that's who I'd be scared of for real. You really need to hide your kids from that. I'm telling you now, that's who you need to hide your kids from. That situation. Because see, he'll think he can get out and go and kill and rape some black kids and kill some black women and get away with it. Positive Vibe says they let him out and he didn't stick to the script. Yeah, then he would be dangerous. Mm-mm. How he get out? Is that the police chief that escaped? I thought they caught him. I bet he is cute. And they feisty too, Tamarion. They feisty too, just like the Yorkies. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm gonna tell you what my Yorkie just did. I guess he wanted to try to jump on his sister back, and then he tried to bully her. I saw him jump. That's what he said. I guess he wanted to try to bully her, and then after he did that, like he gonna do something to it, he gonna try to jump on her back. But I was looking at him. I was waiting on his ass. He done ran and hid behind the couch. I gotta land next to me because I don't know what's going on. What's up, OG Snake Spotter? OG Snake Spotter, you know when I don't see you in here, I get to wondering if you acting funny with me. Because normally you be in here all the time, or you'll reach out to me on Facebook and you know, you get where you don't do neither. He's full of energy. I can't wait to pick him up. He might be in heat, but I got them fixed though. Rainbow, get over here. Get away. Let the boys play. You come over here. You can't play with them. Because I don't know what he on. Uh, uh, Rainbow, you get up here with me. Come on. You can't play with the boys. You let them play because they'll be trying to do something they should be doing to you. Come over here with me. Come over here with mama. Come over here with me. Stay over here with me. Let the boys play. You can't play with the boys right now. Yeah, they went and got their hair. They went and got it groomed and all that. They look so cute. Come on, Roscoe. Come on. If Roscoe over here, you can go play. But if he ain't over here, you can't go play because I don't trust him. He said never. The cow. Look at he's so handsome. Him so handsome. I love he so much. I love him so much. I love him so much. I feel lonely over here by myself. I can't come in on the man. Clarinetta, I look for you. Clarinetta, did you send me the name of your page? Hold on, let me see something. Did you did send me the name of your page, right? Because something ain't right. They blocking people on my channel. Okay, so let's see. Hold on. Let's see, Clarinetta 6427. Hold on, y'all. Let me see something. Okay, here it is, right here. Oh my God. Clarinetta, I just unhid you. You was definitely hid. You sure was blocked. See if you can come in on the main channel now. I just unblocked you. You was blocked. And I don't know who I didn't block you. Are you able to come in on the main channel now? Good night, Paula. Thanks for coming through. I don't know, but I just unblocked her. Where y'all? Where y'all at? Get over. Get in here. I know y'all say I be cuckoo with these puppies. I be talking to them like they're humans. They are humans. They're living things. To me, they're humans because they understand what I be saying. I thought once I went and got the boys fixed, I got them spaded or neutered or whatever. I thought that they wouldn't have a nature, but they still be trying to get their groove on. Hey, Lati. Elon Musk says he's turning into a Democrat now, so Trump threatening him. Well, hey, Miss Nelly. Well, he was probably already a Democrat. So now Trump has given let him see a lot of the secrets or whatever. Trump was losing a lot of support with Elon Musk. A lot of the Republicans was turning on him. So he had to cut him off. I mean, he done allowed him to buy half of the United States. Barely gets in by. So taken and no kidding. And Elon's son, exactly. Elon's son being all those meetings. Isn't that something? I'm just it's sad. You allow him into the inner gates and show him all the secrets and then make him an enemy. So y'all, what why did they fall out? OG Snake Spotter, why did Trump and Elon Musk fall out? What happened? Yeah, I took my salmon out. It's too late to grill though. I didn't get home too late. So I'll grill it tomorrow. Salmon and um maybe I'll do a salmon salad tomorrow. Salmon salad. Elon didn't like the big, beautiful bill. Elon got a black eye now because he was one of the guys on Trump's team. Hmm. You're eating a salmon salad? What do you put in your salmon salad? Let's see. Um, it would be hard for me to put like anything other than lettuce and because I don't like cheese on fish. I absolutely do not like cheese on fish. Um, Salmon and my romaine lettuce. And what else? I don't know. Salmon and lettuce. That's the only way I can eat it. Anything else in there would make me sick to the stomach. Hey, Jonathan. Now I can eat it with like ranch or blue cheese. But I can't put no cheese on it. Maybe feta cheese or something. I don't know. Um, I could eat red peppers. I could do red peppers, bell peppers, and yeah, I could put a little bit of feta cheese on it. A little bit of feta cheese. Um, Trump don't like him or Bill Gates. Trump ain't with what they got going on and future plans. And Patrick said, "Why God? Why you say that, Patrick? Sweet peppers, carrots, and tomatoes." Um, hmm. Yeah, sweet peppers. I like bell peppers too. I probably can put. I like onions too. I got some red onions in there. I love bell peppers and sweet peppers. I might put a little bit of feta cheese on it because I like to make it sweet and spicy. Y'all know I like spicy food, so I spice it up and then put make a honey glazed sauce to pour over it and chop it up and put it in a salad. So it could be sweet and spicy with lettuce, a little bit of feta cheese, bell peppers, sweet peppers, and onions. And I'm trying to think of what I could eat with it. I don't need nothing to eat with it. It's a salad, so I don't need a side or anything like that. That's going to fill me up. And water. Oh, because I'm gonna stop eating on the go. Like I got to be out early in the morning. A lot of times, like I don't. But maybe I just boil my eggs. Like right, as soon as I get up in the morning, I'm gonna boil my eggs even before I get in the shower. And then by the time I get out the shower, finish prepping myself, the eggs will be done, and it'll fill me until one or two, then I can eat my salmon salad. I'll cut it in half. That's what I'll do. I'll cut it in half, and then the other half of the salmon I'll eat when I get home. Oh, I make a very good honey glazed sauce to put on my salmon. And don't y'all know I bought a bag of salmon, and I know it ain't no more than 7 in there. It cost me $23. I stood there in the store and looked at that bag of salmon for a long time because I was looking at the salmon in the bag, and then I was looking at the long salmon, like they had one long piece. It was 25 something. And I was like, damn, how bad do I want it? I've never paid no $23 for a bag of salmon. I was like, dog, because I almost put it back in there. I was like, dog, but if I wonder if I went somewhere else, would it be cheaper? And I was like, well, I was at Cash Saver. It was not any cheaper. I'm right here at Walmart. At least it don't have the skin on the back because I don't like dealing with the damn skin. Um, I stood there, I know, for about 10 minutes looking at it, trying to decide if I want to pay $23 for a damn bag of salmon. See, when I go grocery shopping, the fun in grocery shopping is finding deals. I love deals, and that was not a deal. So just like I went to Sam's today, I had to go and get the dog some food, and so they had their almond milk, and which I don't know why I bought it. It was on sale because I make my own almond milk. All you got to do is get almonds, get alkaline water, and put it in a blender and blend it. And that's how you make almond milk without all of the extra stuff that they put in it in the store. What's up, Alabama Hitter? And I put a little bit of vanilla in it, put it in a jar, and that's what I eat my cereal with. And I like Honey Nut Cheerios, so they had the Honey Nut Cheerios on sale in Sam's. They had the Parmesan cheese on sale in Sam's. I got the big old container so that when I make my Alfredo sauce and all of that. And come to think about it, the other half of that salmon, I'm gonna make an Alfredo sauce and put it in there. I mean, it's too expensive to eat one whole salmon now. So I can cut up half of the salmon and crumble it on the salad. The other half be my dinner. And $24, $23 for a bag of salmon. You have to make that last. So that's what I'll do. The other half of the salmon I'll make an Alfredo sauce and put the salmon in it. I don't even have to have a side. Hmm. So what's going on, the Alabama Hitter? Listen, y'all, I was so excited. Big Lots opened up some stores. Y'all know they had closed down. That was my favorite store. And when Big Lots closed, Dollar Tree became my favorite store. So Big Lots is back open. So I went into Big Lots, and everything in Big Lots is different. So I'm gonna just tell y'all right now, it's got the same stuff in it that they sell in Dollar Tree. And it might be cheaper because Dollar Tree adds 25 cents now, and in Big Lots it's $1. So all of those sprays, and stuff that I have been buying from out of Dollar Tree, I'm going to Big Lots and get it because it's a dollar flat, and at the Dollar Tree it's $1.25. So me too. Big Lots was my favorite store. I used to love to go in Big Lots, and I was staying there for hours looking at the washing powders. They still sell powdered washing powder. But when I went in there recently, since they opened back up there, I didn't see any powdered washing powder. Miss Nelly said she loved Ross. I like Ross. I love to go on Ross and get my hair stuff, like my shampoos, my conditioners, my hair oils, like pots and pans, lip glosses, stuff like that. I like to get out of Ross. I love Marshalls too. I love to go in Marshalls and get a lot of stuff too. I will buy clothes from out of Marshalls too. I like to go in there and get I like to go in there and get like coffee, like M&M coffee and um stuff like that. Um I love Marshalls and I love TJ Maxx. I like to go to Marshalls and TJ Maxx to get my body washes. Oh my God, I wish you still work there so I could use your discount. Hey, hey, hey! What kind of discount did y'all get? What's up, Cypress? I ain't see you up in here. Yep. But I like to go on Marshalls and TJ Maxx and get all of my body washes. He said, oh. Ross and Marshalls, TJ Maxx, DD is my spot. Y'all know they're the same. Ross, TJ Maxx, and Marshalls. Now I'm gonna tell y'all the thing. Ross has the best hair stuff, like all the oils and stuff I like to put in my hair, the shampoos. But TJ Maxx has and Marshalls has all of the best body wash. They have all the best body wash. Oh, that 30% would have been so good. Oh my God. I would have loved to use your discount. Um yeah, Marshalls and TJ Maxx has the best body wash. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I've been looking for in Marshalls my bubble bath. They don't have it anymore. Um hold on y'all. And y'all, they don't have it anymore. And it's my favorite. I wish they did too. I see it on eBay. I don't buy nothing. I don't like to buy stuff like that from off of eBay. And it's expensive. Oh, they know they wrong. Oh God, it's my favorite. Mm, mm, mm. Marshalls or TJ Maxx has not had it. And I've been looking for it too. Mm. Hold on, y'all. I'm looking for it. Uh, it's way more expensive everywhere else. Oh well. I wish I would pay $19 for it. Cause I was hating to pay $8, $8.99 for it in Marshalls. I see it's $19.99 on the site. I'm not paying that. Now I was just looking for this bubble bath. I was looking for this bubble bath that I always love to use that I have not seen. I haven't seen it in Marshalls or TJ Maxx. So I was looking for it. Oh, oh yeah. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, oh God, no. Cause see, they trying to sell the big thing for $95. Mm-mm. They out of their damn minds. Mm-mm. Hey, Miss Muffin. But y'all, what's been going on in the YouTube streets? Here the in Cypress. Y'all want to come up? Y'all want to come up? Hey, TB21. Okay. Hey, M Rose. Yeah, I'm trying to see what's been going on in the Memphis streets tonight on the news. I'm sure it's something that's been going on. Oh Lord. Whose birthday is coming up? MVP believe their birthday coming up next week or weekend. Massey, y'all, what's up?
What's poppin'?
What's going on?
Who birthday he said coming up?
I don't know. What's up here? What's going on, bro?
What's up with the side? Going
I
on
had,
with the Brody?
I had the ball with you last night.
Yeah, man. Hey, if y'all in the chat was over there with us last night, man, salute to y'all, man. We ran a whole marathon. We went 6 hours.
That's a long time.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
yeah he pulled a Cyber TD last night. He felt good.
running nothing but content and having a ball. Steven was over there with us for a minute.
I
You
think
know,
I came in there.
you
Yeah,
came in too. True
yeah,
Results stopped by.
yeah. I had to lay the smack down on Steve whenever he show up.
Yeah, man.
I was trying to figure out. I was in your comments. I pulled up trying to figure out how you shopping and yawning at the same time, woman.
Yeah, that's crazy.
She's shopping and yawning and shit at the same time, making me tired. Shit, I had to look at the clock. Yeah,
Yes, indeed.
It's still, you know what? It just got dark.
yeah. I'm glad it got dark because the heat can slow the hell down. It ain't hot as hell down here.
What's the weather like down there?
Hot as
We
hell. I don't know. I know it's like I don't know what the temperature is right now, but I know early it was hot as hell.
Where I'm at, it's 75. You know what I'm saying? 75, but it's been hot. It's been hot. We basically had bad weather Saturday. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna go live in the afternoon, and but hell, the power kept going off. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it got pretty bad. I didn't know it was bad as it was. It got real bad. Not tornado bad, but right up under tornado bad.
Yeah. Shout out to Alabama. Shout out to Florida and Texas.
Yeah, you know what it is, man. Like Paula House said, steaming hot. It's like hot dog water outside, fam.
Yeah, it's that time of the year though.
It really is. It really is. Yeah, but yeah. We just been talking about. We've been talking about a bunch of stuff. Well, I do. I just dropped a video on Lil Baby. Lil Baby brought out YF and Lucci, and that's huge for Atlanta. He brought YF and Lucci out on his show, and the crowd went crazy.
Y'all has Thugger gotten quiet?
Thugger just being Thugger. He ain't in Atlanta, so he not gonna be as loud as normal. But his whole situation is him and Lucci got together and they pretty much squashed that beef, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And the video I dropped is basically asking, it's cool that they squashed the beef, but who else? You know, he don't care nothing about YSL. He pretty much burnt YSL to the ground. You know, you got damn the 30 dudes on trial with you, and all of them rat, with the exception of Shannon Stillwell and Yak Gotti. So you know that's pretty much over with. But they squashed the beef, and you know that gave leeway for Lil Baby to bring out Lucci, and that was a good look for the city. You love to see you. I know it's a lot of stuff that didn't happen in these last 10 years with these cats, but you love to see when they can make amends and get over that hump. Yeah,
Yeah. A lot of people don't be able to get over the hump.
right. And I posed the question. I said, "Will this work?" Because we all remember years ago, Yo Gotti brought out Boo Dirty, and it didn't do nothing but stir up more controversy.
Well, well, yeah, because the people on the opposite side were feeling that because people lost their life about that. And that's basically what Tay Ratchford was playing in his rant.
Sype, you sit. You gotta. You yeah.
Can you hear me?
Now we can hear you, bro.
I said a lot of people on the opposite side wasn't feeling that because people lost their life. That's why I
Yeah,
believe T Rex went on the rant he went on.
right. That's facts. That's facts, and that's what I feel like a lot of people gonna talk about here. You know, Shannon Stillwell beat a body. You know, if you it depending on who you ask, Kenneth Copeland, Lil Woody, he beat a body. So it's like, who's gonna co-sign this? Cause people still got their loved ones in the ground, you know. So that's the tricky part. That's the part that people gotta really, swallow a heavy pill. You know what I'm saying? What you say about this, Miss T?
I think she said, hold on.
Okay, but yeah,
Yeah, man.
crazy situation, man. It's a crazy situation, but it was good to see. You know what I'm saying? It was real good optics, real good optics. You know what I'm saying? So many of these situations end with, you know, the head honcho laid out, stretched, and we didn't get that in this instance. You know what I'm saying? Black Barbara said some people really just don't make a difference because one is a coward that pays people to do their work, and the other you have to watch around the youngins. Well, I be damn. Ooh wee. You
Listen.
can always depend on Black Barber to give you that one, them one liners that's gonna stick.
Yeah.
uh, one of them is a coward. Who would she be talking about in that instance? Cypress.
Oh, yeah, she's talking about God. I know who she's talking about.
And we all know who she talking about in the other instance. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, Boo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we all trying to. I'm trying to leave that there.
Fannie Willis Fannie Willis is a laughing stock right now because she pulled all them folk in and did all that tough talk and wasn't able to convict number one of them. Every last one out of 28 of them, 27 walked, and you still didn't get that big fish that you gave all this immunity out for. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Yeah?
gave out all that immunity, and them folks stood up there in front of them cameras looking stupid for the better half of 2 years.
Yeah, that's crazy work.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. So I hope Thugger stay out the way. You know what I'm saying? He can't come to Atlanta for at least the next 10 years. We know that much. Um, I think Lucha gonna stay out the way. They got too much money not to stay out the way, and they older now. You know, Lucha used to
So
do a
is
bunch.
Thugger living on the outskirts of Atlanta?
I don't think Thugger in Georgia. Just to be
Oh.
honest with you, yeah, he can't come back.
If he's smart, he's in
He
Cali.
probably in Texas then, because that's where they go.
Nah, I think he in California.
He in Cali.
Hmm.
Well, well, that's gonna be on the thin line too because of what he, affiliated with. So it's gonna be kind of hard.
Yeah, it's either Cali or a lot of people like to go to Miami. That's the new rappers paradise. And Miami ain't never cared. You know what I'm saying? They ain't never cared. They took back in the 70s and 80s. They took payoffs from the drug lords. Now you know what I'm saying? They taking them from the rappers.
Look who showed up here, man. Not again. Salute is not again in the chat.
Steven said, incorrect, fam. The state got multiple convictions, and unfortunately, the state is going to get their lick back on all of them except Ghana. I don't think so.
No, everybody went home. Come on,
Yeah,
man.
but salute to Steve-O, but yeah, I don't think If they want to hang their hat on, they gave these boys all this probation, then that's cool. But they not gonna get thugger. I really don't think they gonna get thugger because you got to remember any violation goes before the honorable. What's her name? I forget her name, but yeah, she was a godsend for Thug
Yeah,
and Yak Gotti.
he basically said, go home and stay out the way. You know,
Yeah, he can come back for graduations and he can come back for stuff like um charitable events where he doing something for kids. But other than that, he can't be just chilling. You know what I'm saying? We finna go to Atlanta for 6 months to record our album. He can't do that. You know.
yeah, that's how Florida and Georgia is. Once you do a lot of crime, they do not want you back. Because if you come back, you ain't coming home.
Hey, we got exposing the truth in the building. He said, "Y'all ain't watching the riots." I
Lord have mercy.
I heard they were going crazy in L.A.
What they riding about? I didn't even know nothing about it.
ICE. Yeah,
ICE.
yeah,
Oh, immigration.
yeah. DJ T said he gonna send them boys in.
So they mad about? So are they mad because they are what sending people back?
Hmm.
But this is my thing. This is where America gonna fall short at. Y'all sending all them people overseas. You gonna put in the goddamn driveways and work on the highway. You know,
Hmm.
ain't no nigga finna stand out there in that 100-degree heat and be doing that. No, man.
Man, I showed a video yesterday. ICE pulled up to a construction site. All them folk running. That shit was so funny. It wasn't funny, but it was funny. Like, damn, bro, these folks just trying to earn a living. You know what I'm saying? But you got you got the YNs at the gas station hanging
See,
out, asking for $1, then knock you across your head. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody checking for them. But they all ran back to their Chevrolet 1500, all 36 of them, and hopped in that giant and got up out of there. It's sad.
Yeah, it's sad. I mean, and like you said, they letting the damn fools that's really out here doing the crazy stuff stand out.
Ooh, they didn't, man, listen. Punching John, they didn't tow their cars up. The California Highway Patrol, who remember Chips?
yeah,
I,
I was on that show. That,
yeah, man, we used to watch Chips when I was a baby, man.
yeah.
Yeah, these folks done tow up the California Highway Patrol cars, man.
Mm, mm, mm.
Oh, they acting a donkey.
He said, and not against tell your friend she been talking to her kinfolk. Glocker ain't putting up the YouTube post for. Yeah. What he do? See what gold and salute to you, baby. What he do, not again?
Youngster better stop trying paper route.
Hey man, we ain't doing this tonight. Hey.
We gonna do this. Like, hey, 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 like Diddy say, we doing this every night.
Everybody said you can call your friends. I can call my friends. We can be friends. We can do this every weekend.
We could do it every weekend. Yeah.
I said, man, this nigga stone cold freak. Man, nigga look back on what he was saying.
Hmm. I bet that little dog mean as hell.
Right, we're gonna go bite everything.
That little dog mean as hell. You go over there to Miss T house you want to. He ain't showing nothing but teeth. Hey, you good with me, Miss T. You ain't never got to worry about me coming over. And Joker gonna eat your ankles up.
Hey man, youngster straight man, youngster gonna be alright out again, man. Come on, man. We know them niggas on the other side ain't built like that, but youngster gonna be alright. If he was really worried about the niggas, he wouldn't do it.
You don't
Speaking of
believe Cypress? You don't even believe that.
speaking of how niggas built, youngster starting to look like finesse 2 time around the hips. What that nigga doing?
Hey man, I don't think youngster really worried about the niggas, though, man.
Bet he ain't. You seen this? You seen this latest video, Miss T?
Got out a new one.
Yeah, yeah. He out there. He got himself and a damn cell phone camera. He out there in the woods by himself. What type of you gotta see it to just know that ain't nobody out there, ain't no production team or nothing. It's just him.
He don't want no. He don't want. He probably don't want nobody out there. He probably don't. He think about it, man. Niggas do so much dirt. They don't want to be out there, man.
Yeah, but he need at least a cameraman. Ain't no cameraman gonna be. I mean, why would a cameraman want to do something to him?
This man, this man is crouched underneath an old abandoned 18 wheeler with a cell phone aimed at him while he rapping. It's so sad to see. You know, all them CMG big budget videos, they not that ain't youngster no more. He out in the woods. I don't know the hell it's just bad. It's just bad, and you could
I
tell
got.
he the only one out there.
I gotta go listen to the album. Man.
Lord have mercy.
You,
Is it on his channel? I
oh
mean, on
yeah.
his. It's on
Mm,
his
hmm
Instagram.
No, it's on his channel.
Shout out to
It,
y'all.
it's called Bloody or something. It's called Bloody. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Hey, y'all know them. I know y'all got them little scooters that you park and you can pay a little fee and ride them downtown.
Yeah.
Man, they done took them scooters and they done beat the brakes off of these police cruisers.
Ooh.
Yeah, they cutting up. They cutting up.
Hey, not again. What? Not again. What was said to make them mad though? What youngster say to make them mad though? I don't even know what's talking about, but I'm gonna check it out.
Youngster had a $44 budget for that video. Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Cypress, what's going on over there?
I'm worried. I down here in Texas.
No, why he only have a $44 budget?
Well,
He claimed he independent.
I don't know. I don't know.
So
I don't know. I don't know. I'm starting to thinking some behind the scenes stuff going on.
so last night I went on each and every one of the CMG artists page and ain't no CMG artist got CMG in their bio, but Big Boogie. You know, Big Boogie had to put it in his bio because he got to remind folks that he on CMG because, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Ah,
The Sape dog, what is going on?
42 Doug ain't got it in his bio.
I don't,
Glorilla ain't got it in his bio. You know, Bag ain't got it in his.
I don't
Is
know.
Bag still CMG? Because he's really separated himself, hadn't he?
Right.
I'm gonna keep it real. Behind the scenes, I'm starting to think a lot of these niggas is temporary niggas. Yeah.
You you starting to think they what?
I'm starting to think a lot of these niggas is separating themselves.
Right. Right. You know what I'm saying? They
I
ain't
mean, we can see it's in plain sight. You can't deny.
Ooh, he mess a
Why are they
clean.
separating themselves, Cypress?
Who knows? Who knows?
Mm.
Who knows? Ain't nothing really going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's some stuff going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, I feel you. Hey, y'all ain't
But
see Angela. Yeah,
he's not a part of the group that own Cache 42 no more. That's what he said.
y'all
Well,
ain't
he
see.
never did own it.
Y'all
Well,
ain't see Angela Simmons post
yeah,
on IG saying that love and peace lives here. I wonder what that mean. Was that a subliminal? What did that mean, huh?
what happened?
Angela Simmons posted up a bunch of photos and she said, "Love and peace lives here." I'm like,
I don't know. I
yeah,
don't know what you mean.
She posted more than she ever posted before. She trying to get his attention.
I
Probably
think
is. You
I
know how
think
these
she's just
women
free.
do. You know how these women do. They
Ah,
want to get you.
the contract over with.
She just free. That's all.
Yeah.
Ooh, they throwing Molotov cocktails. Let's go.
Where they at? Let me pull that up. What channel are you looking at?
I am watching ABC 7 in Los Angeles, California. They
ABC.
they trying to blow these police cars up. If you want me to, I can pull it up. Shit. Let me see if
Yeah,
they let me.
go ahead.
All right.
Oh my God, they doing the most.
I'm trying to tell you.
I
Now
gotta
what's going?
look.
Now they spraying them.
Yeah, well, California, Texas, all that was a part of Mexico at one point. So I think that's what the big beef is about.
They just started spraying the folks with water. Did y'all see that?
Can y'all see the screen?
Hold on, let
Los
me see.
Angeles that includes the surface streets, which are the domain of Los Angeles, and the 101 freeway, which is the domain
Yeah.
of the California Highway Patrol, which you can tell by these 3 CHP vehicles, which are now battered and dented after hours of projectiles being thrown at them.
And you can see an even larger crowd gathering now on, I believe that's still just the side of the overpass. The overpass still has a lot, but you can see more on the side, and they don't seem like they're going anywhere. It's getting late. We're getting close to sunset. Sunset's going to happen in the next 10 or 15 minutes. So unfortunately, it looks like this protest has made it into the evening hours when it starts getting dark. And then that raises more questions. What's going to happen when things get dark? Is that maybe where law enforcement draws the line and they say, OK, that's it. We need to stop this right now and then go a different route? Or are they going to continue what they're doing and like what we've been seeing, let things fizzle out, play out, and then move in with the horses, move in with those to those barricaded areas? It's interesting to see like what their move is, especially as it's getting dark.
Right, the LAPD Central Division throwing out a traffic advisory saying due to demonstrators throwing objects onto the southbound lanes of the 101 freeway and damaging multiple police vehicles, the 101 southbound freeway will remain closed until further notice. This will take a lot of time not only to get the demonstrators out of this area, but to clean up the mess they've now left behind.
Right.
You have 3 California Highway Patrol vehicles that will likely need to be towed. They could get out under their own power. We'll see how damaged they are. Then you have, hundreds of pounds of concrete that have now accumulated after being thrown from this overpass onto the roadway. That's not something you can just easily.
Right. How do you clean that up?
Right.
They're
Are you
not
going to kick it
playing.
off to the side of the road? Do you need a street sweeper? Do you need crews coming through and gathering them in trash cans or a dump truck to do that? And so questions remain about how that is going to be handled. We do have, as we await the press conference at the top of the hour, we do have Professor Jessica Levinson joining us tonight. And boy, Professor, we have some questions to talk about with you tonight. I don't know if we have 8 minutes to the top
That's a
of the hour.
hard-looking
Let's try to
woman.
fit as much in as we possibly
Yes, she
can.
is.
First, what's on your mind as you watch what's
Oh
playing
man,
out in Los Angeles tonight and the battle now between California Governor Gavin
Look,
Newsom
she
and
must
the
have
President
heard
of the
you.
United States?
She
So I
must have
think
heard you.
what's on
We
my
must
mind is
have.
what's on everybody's mind, which is what happens next? What happens overnight? What happens tomorrow? Will we see a significant escalation? If there is a significant escalation, or frankly, maybe any escalation, we could see the president say, I need to do more. We could see the president potentially, again, pull the cord and say, I need to invoke the Insurrection Act. As I'm sure you've been talking about, the Insurrection Act would give the president more authority to not just federalize the National Guard, but to say that the National Guard can actually act as domestic law enforcement, that the military on US soil can search, can seize, can arrest. That's not something that we're accustomed to. So I'm looking to see obviously what's happening right now, but also how the situation evolves and how the president reacts.
And we have seen the president allude to the fact that and we're watching, sorry, Professor, there's a split screen here on the right side of your screen. We're seeing continued demonstrations, and a firebomb was just thrown down off of the 101 freeway overpass onto one of those CHP vehicles below, which is now burning. We'll see if they're able to put that out with the fire retardant from below. There's a fire extinguisher I believe they're deploying, but that looks like it's going to go. It looked like it was some kind of ball of fuel, whether it was alcohol or gas, lobbed off of this overpass, and that CHP vehicle is now on fire. So
Wow.
we're having this conversation with these scenes playing out, Professor. We have heard the president twice within the last hour refer to the people, the demonstrators, and some of them violent and clearly breaking the law here, as insurrectionists. We have heard Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth threaten that the U.S. Marines will be deployed from Camp Pendleton onto the streets of Los Angeles if the violence continues. Is that allowed? Can the President of the United States legally, in a situation like this, deploy under the Insurrection Act, U.S. military to fight U.S. citizens on U.S. soil?
Okay, so in a situation like this is going to be the key. This is going to be where the fighting is. So let's talk really briefly about the federal statutes at issue here. We all know that the president can only act when there's something that gives him the power to act, or there's inherent constitutional power. In this case, what the president is pointing to is Title VII. This is not the Insurrection Act, Title X. Title X allows the president to federalize the National Guard and to allow them to act in a support role for federal law enforcement.
Oh, some
They
just
can
exploded.
help protect
There you
federal
go.
agents. They can help protect federal
Oh,
property,
yeah, they
but they
playing.
cannot act like law enforcement officials. And again, perform searches
This
and
seems
seizures.
very
They cannot
organized. You
act
do
like
know that
ICE
people with
agents.
money is definitely
But if
backing
things
them.
continue,
It's George
you asked me
Soros.
about the Insurrection Act. Obviously,
It
the
might
president has
be.
been using certain language today. What happens next? The Insurrection Act is an exception to the Posse
Yeah,
Comitatus Act. Posse
yeah,
Comitatus Act
dude.
says
Let
you
them
can't
know, yeah.
law enforcement. You can't have that happen. Again, unless there are certain exigent or emergency circumstances, the
Ooh-wee, look at
Insurrection
them
Act
laws.
would present those emergency circumstances. So for me, the real legal question is,
They
are
said,
we
or the
in a
cartels.
situation where the president can point to that broad grant of authority under the Insurrection Act and say, yes, we can move forward.
Yeah.
We cannot just have the National Guard, but have them perform those domestic law enforcement agency actions.
This is a president who has pushed the boundaries of constitutional law and law itself. What would happen if he decides these are insurrectionists, invokes the Insurrection Act, deploys U.S. military, and what is who can stop him? He's the president of the United States. If he does that, let's say Marines show up in Los Angeles, who's going to stop them?
So I think at that point you would have California having standing to sue. I'm not saying it's going to be a successful suit. I'm saying they would have standing to sue. The argument would be that the president is infringing on state sovereignty because he doesn't have the power under the Insurrection Act. That when you pull the cord on the Insurrection Act, that you should have cooperation from a governor. Now, there have been, let's discuss, and you may have already discussed, moments in our nation's history where the president has said, I'm sending in troops. That was really about implementing desegregation decisions during the civil
Exactly.
rights era.
There it is.
We haven't seen the Insurrection Act, in my view, used in modern times against the will of a governor, which is a long answer to your question of what would happen. California would go to court and California would say the president doesn't have the power. And then we would be in another court battle. We would have a federal judge, likely a number of federal judges making that decision.
It is incredible that we are asking these questions in the United States, that this is even in the realm of possibility of something that can happen. But Professor Jessica Levinson, I would love to sit and talk with you more. Unfortunately, we're facing a time crunch here at the top of the hour. We're waiting talk to you about this, and hopefully not about some of the outcomes that we're talking about, our possibilities here. Jessica, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, as we approach the top of the hour, we are going to kind of wrap up this portion of our coverage as we get ready for the LAPD press conference. We'll wait to see if California Governor Gavin Newsom will be taking part. He did post a picture of himself with the chief of police of the LAPD and the LA County Sheriff Robert Luna, that he is in Los Angeles. He is working with those jurisdictions to see what is going to play out and how to best address this situation. But we're going to switch
I
over some
forgot LA
crews
is
here
probably like 3 hours
as
behind
we
our
get
time.
ready. So we will
Yeah,
continue to cover. You'll
it's
still see this Air 7
it's gonna
picture
be 7
of
o'clock.
what is happening in downtown Los Angeles. Things calming down except for that one pocket over the 101 freeway where we see demonstrators continue to hurl objects down at the CHP vehicles below. But stay with us. We are not going anywhere. We will bring you that LAPD press conference here in just about 1 minute as we continue our coverage here on Eyewitness News, streaming and online for Eyewitness News.
I'm so glad it ain't us. Hit the like button, please. Hit the like button. Um, I'm so glad it ain't us. They be throwing chemtrails, bombing our neighborhoods, bringing attack dogs and some more shit. But you see, you see how they moving now.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's cool. We're just gonna sit back and watch. We're just gonna sit back and watch. But this is crazy. This is crazy. What they doing is they just cording them folks off and trying to keep them um, exclusive to that area. But as the sun go down, it's gonna get crazy.
That looks like an army helicopter right there, don't it?
But that's the California Highway Patrol. What's gonna happen is I think Trump gonna lead these folk to themselves. I really do. That's just my opinion, but I feel like he gonna say, let your state handle it. Y'all y'all ain't rock with me none and now one of these sittings that I didn't had as president. Let the state handle it.
Especially California. You know he
Right.
vindictive.
Exactly. He petty as hell. He gonna say, call Gavin Newsom. Hmm.
This is Eyewitness News with live breaking news.
Now at 8, violent clashes between more than
Okay, it's 8 o'clock.
protesters and law enforcement officers in downtown
Yeah.
Los Angeles. This on the third day of protests over federal immigration enforcement operations. Good evening, I'm Mark Brown. Tonight we have seen protesters shutting down the 101 freeway, setting fire to Waymo cars, throwing rocks, concrete, even electric scooters against law enforcement vehicles on the 101 freeway. We have seen several people pulled out of the crowd and arrested by police. The remnants of less than lethal tear gas and rubber bullets littering the streets of downtown. And beyond what we're seeing on the group, another battle playing out over the Trump administration's decision to deploy National Guard troops to quell these protests that the president is calling an insurrection. We want to begin right now. There's
This
a
is
news
crazy.
conference that is scheduled with the chief of the Los Angeles Police Department, Jim McDonald, that is scheduled to begin at 8. This is a key element of this because one of the things that the president has been indicating is that local leaders, local officials, we don't know if he includes the chief in that. He has spoken about elected officials and especially the mayor and the governor, saying that they are not responding to the protests in order to quell them, and that is why he is calling in the National Guard. The chief of police of Los Angeles, Jim McDonald, is going to speak to the news media and to the citizens of Los Angeles. We expect that to happen at any moment. In the meantime, this has been a momentous day here in Southern California where these protests that began downtown at City Hall and at the federal building complex, including the Hall of Administration and the Justice Department there and the courthouse. Those two crowds merged later this afternoon and became a huge throng of more than 1,000 people and began marching around different areas of downtown Los Angeles, City Hall, and elsewhere. There has been violence directed at police and at members of ICE. What you're looking at now are live pictures from Air 7 as mounted LA police units are now moving some of those demonstrators out. It has been a pretty amazing day in Southern California, another crazy day of things happening. Let's go to Tim Caputo, who has been out in the middle of it
Paula
for
Hall
much of
made a
the
good
afternoon.
statement
Tim,
right there.
what are you seeing?
Well, Mark, you really nailed it on the head there. It has been a crazy day, and as the sun starts to go down, the concern obviously is things escalate from here. It's kind of interesting as you see the different layers. We kind of took a step back to get a broader vantage point, partially because the area we were on Los Angeles Street earlier was getting a little bit hairy. You could see down the 101 beneath us with all the overpasses and people on essentially every single overpass. As police have moved in, Tommy, come to my right here to show these officers who have lined up on the street. We actually saw a number of sheriff's deputies come in on those big trucks with their tactical gear here to assist the LAPD as they try to move this crowd or get some sort of control out here this afternoon. Where we're standing is up on Hill Street. It gives you a vantage point of everything that's going on down below. If you look to my left here on the hill, this has grown throughout the day, and this is something that we've seen not just here a little bit farther away, but even down at Union Station as well. People are showing up. People are still coming out. People heard what's going on. People want to be part of what's going on. And so the crowd is not necessarily getting smaller. It may be dissipating in certain areas, but in a lot of ways it's getting bigger. The folks up here taking some photo, live streaming, being part of it from a distance. As you get a little bit closer, you could start to see and hear where the fireworks are going off. The police department, obviously, both LAPD, the Sheriff's Department, and CHP in a bit of a difficult spot because of the landscape here. You have the overpasses, you have the freeway underneath, and then you have the roads that go around the buildings, both Federal Building and City Hall, over on the south side of the 101. There is a lot of area to cover, and it seems as though from what we've seen both down below and up here, as they start to move a crowd and it seems to dissipate, people just work their way around. They come up the street, they go around the street. So getting control here is almost impossible. So what they're trying to do is get things quieter, but figure out how to finally get this crowd to go home. I can tell you, Mark, from being out here on Friday night, from being in Compton last night, that is a tall order.
Indeed, there are a lot of demonstrators that they still have to deal with. Let's get more from Gabe Santos. He's in Air 7. This is over the freeway bridge under which several CHP vehicles were abandoned after people started throwing scooters and concrete at those vehicles, damaging them, placing the lives of the officers inside them in danger. Let's get more from Gabe about how that situation is now.
Yeah, Mark, this is the situation above the 101 freeway. You have a couple of bridges here. That's the Alameda Street Bridge, and then over to the right is the Los Angeles Street Bridge. And on that bridge, you had a number of protesters throwing things down on the CHP vehicles below. Those CHP vehicles were parked there as you see a firework or parts of a firework going through the shot. Those CHP vehicles were parked there a number of hours ago, about 2 or 3 hours ago, when protesters came onto the freeway.
They cleared all them protesters off of the bridge, off of the viaduct.
Freeway. CHP moved in, they moved those protesters out, and they controlled that situation, but they left a number of those vehicles there onto the freeway. Eventually, some of those protesters on the overpass on the Los Angeles Street Bridge started chipping pieces of concrete away from the sidewalk and finding other things to throw down, like bird scooters and other electric bicycles, and they started throwing them down onto the CHP vehicles below. Earlier in our live streaming coverage, you saw that CHP vehicle right there was actually set on fire. It looks as if it may not be a total loss in terms of being completely inoperable, but it may no longer be drivable. You see those CHP units there under the overpass there, trying to figure out how to move that vehicle out of the way. The other vehicles, they appear to have been able to have moved those out of the way. And all of those protesters that were on the Los Angeles Street Bridge have now been cleared. LAPD has refocused their efforts, and you now have LA County Sheriff's Department here as well. We've seen Rescue 5, that's that very large Sea Stallion help.
Gabe, I need to stop you right now. Yep. LA Police Chief Jim McDonnell is about to speak. Let's hear him.
He looked like he pissed.
You good? All good? All right, thank you. Thank you, first of all. I know it's a very, very busy time. Thank you all for coming here tonight and allowing us the opportunity to be able to brief the public a little bit about what's going on and what we've been doing, and ask, truly an ask for peace throughout our city. I'm joined here by Gerald Woodyard, Deputy Chief from Operations West Bureau, Herman Hurtado, Commander from Professional Standards Bureau, and from Operations Central Bureau, Raul Jovel who's also the incident commander for Central Bureau and for this incident. So I want to just take an opportunity to speak directly to the people of Los Angeles, clarify LAPD's roles and the events that have been playing out over these past couple of days. This includes our response to protests, our public safety responsibilities, and recent claims that you've seen made by some federal officials. Today, I met with Governor Newsom, Mayor Bass, U.S. Attorney General of the Central District of California, Bill Asaley, and ICE Acting Director Todd Lyons. Let me begin by reaffirming a core principle. The LAPD supports and protects the First Amendment right to free speech. In recent days, many protests across the city have been peaceful, and we thank the community for expressing their views and their frustration in a responsible manner. However, when peaceful demonstrations devolve into acts of vandalism or violence, especially violence directed at innocent people, law enforcement officers, and others, we must respond firmly. An act of violence, whether toward officers, demonstrators, or the public, will be met with swift and lawful action. Our goal is to maintain order without escalating conflict and to protect everybody's right to safety. Recent public statements have misrepresented LAPD's action from an incident the other night. Specifically, there was a claim that LAPD delayed responding to a federal officer's request for assistance by more than 2 hours. When we heard that, I think anybody who's a police officer couldn't believe it, and certainly anyone with LAPD couldn't imagine how that would happen. Well, it didn't happen, and I just want to go into that just a little bit. LAPD was not given advance notice that the federal operations would occur in that area. As a result, we were not pre-positioned to respond immediately to unrest related to those actions. Once the call for assistance came in, LAPD responded within 38 minutes. And that sounds like a long time, but I'll tell you why that is. The response was impacted by traffic, crowd density in the area with unrest occurring, hazardous conditions caused by tear gas that was previously deployed by federal agents at that location. Many of our officers, because it was put together in a mobile field force configuration without advance notice, were not equipped with gas masks. But despite these challenges, we moved in quickly and as safely as possible. At no point did LAPD ignore or intentionally delay any request for help. I also want to be unequivocally clear. The Los Angeles Police Department does not participate in or coordinate with Immigration and Customs Enforcement on civil immigration enforcement. We've said this over and over again, and I can't stress it enough for the people in our community who have high levels of anxiety about this issue, that we want everybody to believe and be able to call the LAPD in time of need if they've been a victim of a crime or a witness to a crime. We need that. Otherwise, the system does not work. That has been our policy and remains our policy, and it went into effect in 1979. So 46 years ago, that's been the way we do business. On the other hand, however, when a law enforcement agency, any agency, requests emergency assistance to protect lives, we are obligated to respond, and we do. Public safety is our duty, and we will answer every legitimate call for help from anyone. We recognize that immigration enforcement operations can cause a deep fear and anxiety, particularly in immigrant communities. That's why we're committed to transparency, accountability, and treating every Angelino with respect, regardless of their immigration status. Our job is not to divide communities or politicize law enforcement. Our job is simply to keep everyone safe. I want to express my sincere appreciation to all of our officers and partner agencies for their dedication and professionalism during these very challenging times. Their commitment to upholding the law, even in the face of hostility, is a reflection of the values that we stand for. We're working together to keep everyone safe, our officers and the public alike, and this remains our top priority. We'll continue to support peaceful protests and enforce the law when criminal acts occur. The LAPD remains focused on its core mission to protect lives, safeguard constitutional rights, and serve every neighborhood in Los Angeles with integrity. Let me open it up now for any questions you might have. So we can clarify.
Oh yeah,
Damn!
yeah, they put the brakes off on me. He gonna
Oh, snap!
Rodney King 2.0. Yeah, they finna beat the shit out of him. Rodney King 2.0.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, they ain't got no plan up there in LA.
Yeah, if I don't know
what he's
what
saying
basis they
is
used to make that
contradicting
decision,
what's
but if
on the
that was
screen.
based on what I
Of
delineated
course
here
it is.
about
The
the
LAPD.
perceived lack of response to a help call by an outside agency, that did not happen. We did respond with mobile field force configuration. And just to explain that, a mobile field force is a configuration of people or officers within the organization that we bring in from around the city. We declare a tactical alert so we can break them away from their primary duties of answering radio calls to be able to come in, form up. They're trained in this tactic into a configuration of 4 squads or a platoon that are led by a mobile field force leader. They then go 4 deep in the car and they drive into the impacted area, and that way they can safely go in a large group of officers and able to handle whatever they come across. If we were to send in a single unit or a couple of units into a riotous scene, certainly they'd be surrounded and the outcome would probably not be good. And so this is a configuration that has worked for us, developed here, worked for us for many years, but it doesn't happen instantaneously. So we have to call in units. We have to meet at a certain location. They get the information they need to operate in the environment, and then they go and they take care of business. And so that takes a little bit of time for us to be able to get in there in about 35 minutes is pretty much textbook. So while we'd love to be able to say we can get there in seconds or minutes, in the reality of a situation of civil unrest, we got to do it right. We got to do it safely for everybody involved.
Hold on. So go one at a time, please, and let's identify name and outlet.
Man, they're gonna put a Rodney King demonstration there. King,
the community that is outraged and they're not happy with the actions of ICE. And then
Oh, my
Congresswoman,
bad,
welcome
y'all.
back here.
Kind of
So y'all listen. What he's saying is directly contradicting what we're seeing on the screen. He's saying that the police are not in conjunction with ICE. They're not working with ICE. ICE is sent in by the federal government, and he is all for immigrants, you know what I'm saying, legal or illegal, to be able to call them in a time of need. But we just seen a big old essay just get trounced by horses and beat with batons. Ain't no telling what they did with that man.
yeah,
So
because they cut the camera.
exactly.
No, they put some wrestling moves on in there. Man, just
So
went
you
straight
know,
Rodney King 2.0.
this is insane right here. What's going on in Los Angeles? Um, and it's all centered around the LA City Hall.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is crazy.
and these demonstrators continue to.
has to be trusted.
There's a large
Yeah, what I
chunk that just
missed.
hit that
Did
vehicle
they have
once
a
again.
conference
So
yet?
where is this coming
Yes,
from?
you missed a
Where's
whole
all
hell
this
of a lot.
concrete being?
So the LAPD just came on the screen and said they are not in conjunction with ICE. They do not cooperate with ICE. They are for the people, and whether you are legal or illegal, they want you to feel safe and calling them in a time of need. Meanwhile, while he's saying that, the Mexicans are setting stuff on fire. A big heavy set Mexican ran away from the police, looked like he about 320 pounds, and he fell. And when he fell, the policemen on horses
Hey,
started
She Johnson.
the
Hey,
pol-
Dot again.
the policemen on horses started trampling over this Mexican and hitting him in the head with batons. So not only was he getting hit by batons, he was getting trampled on by the horses.
Yeah.
Oh,
LA,
they did a cold number
LAPD,
on that boy.
LAPD ain't to be trusted.
Whole time they talking about how they here for all of the Latino residents.
Of a certain age just like to do, and I am generalizing somewhat. There could be some women, some females involved in this, and older people, but generally we see in a gathering like this, you start to get a mob mentality where some people are doing it, and you just kind of lose your inhibitions. As here goes another scooter down onto the roadway below. So the damage that is being caused to the infrastructure, to the vehicles of the CHP, to that overpass, to the
I think this is
scooters and the
I think
bikes
this is
that
an
are
old
provided
video
for the
because I thought
public
they
to
moved all
use
of those
are now
vehicles.
no longer available, and this will cost money to replace. Money that has been spent by our tax dollars to procure is now unavailable.
It makes you wonder, like, how much is the city going to have to spend now? This is thousands and thousands of dollars worth of damage that was so unnecessary. And it looks like we have a little more, no, this is not movement. That's just the northbound side that's moving, which honestly, I'm so glad that the northbound side is still
Yeah, I
safe
think
as
this
of
is
right
old
now.
video because
Looks like at least the
that
demonstrators
truck
have
right
left
there
tunnel,
has
but we are
already
zooming
been
back
blown up.
in into that police vehicle. Again, it has some sort of bag, and it looks like there is a flame on that police vehicle. I can't tell. Yeah.
Yep, that is now on fire. We'll see if it catches or if it burns out, if it fizzles out. We've already seen 5 vehicles go up in flames, those unmanned Waymos that were lit on fire. So is this an incendiary or is this to extinguish? It was an extinguisher. Okay, good. All right, so that fire, nope, that is still burning.
Wow.
You can see it right on the windshield. What was the windshield is now kind of caved into this vehicle, and that fire is still burning. I don't know if there's anything to catch on that. I guess it depends on how much ingress it has into the vehicle itself, but if a fire lands just on a vehicle that's off on the windshield and the hood, nothing should theoretically catch fire.
Yeah, and just seeing this damage, it just gives you a glimpse of how upset and just frustrated these protesters are. And it just makes you want to tell them, like, hey, LAPD is not ICE. You know, why are you doing this? LAPD is supposed to be there to protect you. They don't like that they're in this situation either. Why continue this chaos? But it just goes to show that mentality. They're upset.
Right, and just a couple blocks away, we saw another crowd gathered outside City Hall as these folks are regathering on this overpass and continuing to volley chunks of concrete, now incendiaries, scooters and bikes off of this overpass onto those CHP vehicles below. We believe there are still officers and other vehicles beneath this overpass, and we'll see how this plays out. We are expecting to hear from Loyola Law professor Jessica Levinson. I don't know if she has joined us yet, but we are awaiting her to join us because there is quite a bit to talk about, constitutionally speaking, as you now have the governor of California at odds legally with the president of the United States. The President Trump federalized 2,000 members of the California National Guard, as we have said multiple times today, but we will explain it once again. This is not an uncommon thing for a president to federalize National Guards members. It has happened many times in our country's history. It hasn't happened many times even recently here in Los Angeles. Federal Guards troops were deployed to help out in the aftermath of the fires. They were deployed in 2020 with the civil unrest, with everything that happened during that eventful year. But that's initiated at the request of the governor. The governor is considered the commander-in-chief of every state's National Guard, and that did not happen here. We have the president usurping the authority of the governor to take over California National Guards members and deploy them onto the streets of that city. The governor of California is now disputing that, asking, demanding, requesting that the president rescind that order and return control to the governor and the state of California. We heard from CNN reporting that the lieutenant governor, Eleni Kounalakis, says that a lawsuit will be filed tomorrow to try and overturn that decision of President Trump to federalize those troops. This has not happened in our country's history, at least in recent memory, that I can think of since the civil rights era. We're talking since the 60s, when there was pushback against civil rights advancements. John F. Kennedy federalized the troops to help black students attend public school in states like Alabama and others, when George Wallace and the like were refusing to follow federal law and depriving U.S. citizens of their constitutional rights to attend school. That was the last time I believe that this has happened against the wishes of a governor, seeing their own National Guards members taken over. That is a little bit different than this. that was to enforce federal law that the governor was refusing to do.
Right.
In this situation, what is the justification to do this without the governor's request? So that has opened up
It's different, like a different part of history
yes,
that
a load
we're
of
writing.
questions that we would
Yeah.
love to pose to Jessica Levinson whenever she is able to join us. We are also awaiting at the top of the hour a law enforcement briefing with the LAPD. We expect to hear from Chief Jim McDonnell. We know LA County Sheriff Robert Luna is also involved in these discussions, and we saw some of his deputies as we see these demonstrators lighting a piece of cardboard on fire. They are intent on burning more cars tonight. We'll see if it happens here that one of them is a CHP cruiser that has been under attack for hours now. Folks throwing chunks of concrete, scooters, bikes, and more onto these vehicles below. It was a perfect shot landing on the hood of that vehicle. Again, here comes some fire retardant, a fire extinguisher to put that out. I don't know if it had much chance of lighting anything on fire, but
that's
again,
definitely coming from under the overpass then. So there are some police officers still there then. That shows they're still there.
Correct. And so we do also expect and hope to hear from the governor, who is in Los Angeles meeting with federal, local officials here, LAPD, LASD, and we believe that he will be speaking at this press briefing at the top of the hour. As we await that, as we await Professor Levinson, we continue to watch this chaos play out on the streets of Los Angeles. That includes the surface streets, which are the domain of Los Angeles, and the 101 freeway, which is the domain of the California Highway Patrol, which you can tell by these 3 CHP vehicles, which are now battered and dented after hours of projectiles being thrown at them.
And you can see an even larger crowd gathering now on, I believe that's still just the side of the overpass. The overpass still has a lot, but you can see more on the side, and they don't seem like they're going anywhere. It's getting late. We're getting close to sunset. Sunset's going to happen in the next 10 or 15 minutes. So unfortunately, it looks like this protest has made it into the evening hours when it starts getting dark. And then that raises more questions. What's going to happen when things get dark? Is that maybe where law enforcement draws the line and they say, okay, that's it. We need to stop this right now and then go a different route? Or are they going to continue what they're doing and like what we've been seeing, let things fizzle out, play out, and then move in with the horses, move in with those to those barricaded areas? It's interesting to see like what their move is, especially as it's getting dark.
Right, the LAPD Central Division throwing out a traffic advisory saying due to demonstrators throwing objects onto the southbound lanes of the 101 freeway and damaging multiple police vehicles, the 101 southbound freeway will remain closed until further notice. This will take a lot of time, not only to get the demonstrators out of this area, but to clean up the mess they've now left behind.
Right.
You have 3 California Highway Patrol vehicles that will likely need to be towed. They could get out under their own power. We'll see how damaged they are. Then you have, hundreds of pounds of concrete that have now accumulated after being thrown from this overpass onto the roadway. That's not something you can just easily.
Right. How do you clean that up?
Right. Are you going to kick it off to the side of the road? Do you need a street sweeper? Do you need crews coming through and gathering them in trash cans or a dump truck to do that? And so questions remain about how that is going to be handled. We do have, as we await the press conference at the
I
top
want to see
of
what
the
this
hour,
looks
we
like
do have Professor Jessica Levinson
when the sun
joining us
goes
tonight.
down.
And boy, Professor, we have some questions to talk about with you tonight. I don't know if we have 8 minutes to the top of the hour. Let's try and fit as much in as we possibly can. First, what's on your mind as you watch what's playing out in Los Angeles tonight and the battle now between California Governor Gavin Newsom and the President of the United States?
So I think what's on my mind,
Yeah, they
what's
didn't
on
ran
everybody's
this all the
mind,
way over
which is,
again, y'all.
what happens next? What happens overnight? What happens tomorrow?
Okay, this is
Will
the
we see
same
a
thing.
significant escalation? If there is a
Yes,
significant escalation,
they got that
or
hard-looking
frankly,
lady
maybe
up here
any
talking again.
Okay. So, how long y'all think it's gonna take them to end this?
It gonna be a minute. See, this is what I don't like about this, because it's like Trump got a personal issue with immigrants, and he taking it out on everybody.
Hmm.
I got another feed.
Let's go.
As we move forward, we'll do everything we can to focus on employee wellness and to be able to offer whatever services we can to address the needs of our folks. Sure.
We'll go one more back there because he hasn't asked yet, and so Carmen, go ahead, and then one more, and then we're gonna call it.
So just two questions. One, is there a chance of instituting a curfew? And two, will you be going back and re-looking at any of these incidents that maybe there wasn't an opportunity to make an arrest at a time, but going back and trying to investigate who's responsible and potentially arresting after that?
No, thank you for the question. I spoke with the sheriff today, and we discussed the possibility of implementing a curfew. We don't rush into doing that, but if we need to do that, I'll go back with the sheriff and we'll look at the options as far as that goes. And as far as give me the second part of the question again.
For some of these incidents we watch unfold, a lot of people watch.
Oh, I got you.
Things just unfold in real time.
Yeah.
Thinking, are any of these people going to be held accountable for this?
Yeah.
For the cars on fire and things like that? Is there a chance of going back?
Absolutely. When you look at the numbers of arrests we've made, pale in comparison to what will be made. There are video accounts of what happened everywhere on social media, on individuals, cameras, iPhones. We will go after that very aggressively. Go after the all available video, analyze that video, and hold whoever we can accountable for the variety of different types of crimes that have been committed. And that's something we'll do with a number of different partners with levels of expertise that may be beyond what we have. No, thank you for that.
Tell me on what charges people were arrested yesterday.
Do you have the specifics? Yeah.
So yesterday, the 29 folks were for failure to disperse. They were all arrested today. So today, so far, this is very preliminary because there's so much stuff going on. The stuff that we know is one person was arrested for throwing a Molotov cocktail at an officer, a significant incident, and then another individual for ramming a motorcycle into one of our line where the officers were and injured one of the officers. Everything else is still very fluid, and I won't have that for a while. So CHP has made at least 17 arrests that I'm aware of in the freeway.
All right, thank you, everyone. Commander Hurtado will stick around to do comments in Spanish for anybody who's interested.
Can we get the spellings of the captain?
Sure, everybody can come up and spell the name.
Captain Raul Jovel, Raul Jovel. Thank you.
You need anybody else? Okay. You good? Okay. Thank you all. Be safe out there, please, all of you too. You're in an environment that is as well just as dangerous, and we appreciate what you do. Okay. Thank you.
Los Angeles Police providing an update on the images that we've been watching all day. That was LAPD Chief Jim McDonnell, mostly, who was speaking. He underscored the fact that they believe the violence that's been occurring against the police have been disgusting. He detailed some of the acts of violence by some of the people that have torched cars, thrown rocks, in some cases directly aiming at officers, trying to light police vehicles on fire. We've watched it all live in just the past few hours. And now we see another fire. We don't know exactly, I was about to say, don't know what intersection this is, but there we go, West 1st and North Spring Street. Try and get a location on this. So it's in the downtown LA area where we're looking right now. So this is in the same vicinity, roughly, that we've been following for much of the day. Just did a quick check of where Spring and First is. The LAPD chief saying that they are going to make quite a few more arrests compared to the phrase he used was, the amount of arrests that have been made so far will pale in comparison to the amount of arrests that will eventually happen. We've got two different vantage points of this scene, by the way. Let's pull up the audio on it. Let's see if we can hear a little bit. Chief McDonnell saying the LAPD cannot participate in immigration enforcement, alluding to the fact that many of these protesters are taking to the streets because of ICE raids. Of course, local police are not the ones carrying out immigration enforcement operations. The chief discussing not only the violence that's been seen on the streets, but also, as we hear, perhaps a firework. The chief also addressing the type of toll that these situations, the strain that it puts on the resources of the police department at large. LA, as we know, is the second largest metro in the country. LA City proper, he alluded to the fact that when officers are getting pulled from other areas citywide to these protests, that means that the officers that are in other parts of the city can only handle radio calls of critical importance. Said 10 people are arrested today. 29 arrested last night. More arrests being made as they speak, is the way they phrased it. So we can expect the number of arrests to go up. Authorities saying they don't know how long ICE will be in town. They presume the National Guard will likely be in town for at least 30 days. He did note that 3 officers have been injured, thankfully minor injuries, none of them being hospitalized.
Check it, 1, 2, 3, check it, check.
There's been no curfew implemented for now, but the chief saying that he's been in touch with the sheriff, and if they have to, that is something they will consider. But for now, no curfew in effect for LA City or LA County. 8:35 Pacific time.
So there's no curfew. People rioted in the streets and there's no curfew.
Much of
That's
what
crazy.
we've been watching for the entire day. These images,
That's California.
a little tougher to see at sundown, but it appears a group of protesters marching along Spring Street there, possibly. Or perhaps just
Tracy, salute.
taking this intersection. Back out to our 2 box.
Can you tell what's on fire?
Let's, as we continue watching some of the images and sounds that the cameras on the ground are capturing, let's dip back in to our partners at Fox 11 Los Angeles. KTTV has been on the ground. Matt Seedorf, specifically, was in the middle of it all by the 101 freeway there. Matt even catching some of the tear gas that was sifting through the air. Fox 11 is on with their evening news right now. Let's dip into their feed. Let's listen into a little bit of their coverage. This is live.
Quite sure if Bill addressed that
So exactly then, what you're claiming then is that that 200 National Guard, or if it goes up to 2,000, are going to be out walking the streets in Los Angeles?
I'm
That's
not saying
gonna
that.
happen.
I'm not saying that at all. He says he's calling up 2,000 National Guard and then federalize them.
Okay.
Correct? We agree with that.
That's
That
correct.
was his initial statement. But he also went on to suggest that part of the reason was because Governor Newsom and Mayor Bass were not doing enough to keep the city in a state of status quo or peace and not erupt into something. And they basically, both of them suggested that doing that was more inflammatory than it was in any way helpful.
Frankly, the inflammatory part comes from the local politicos here, who come out and basically apologize for some of the behavior of these people, justifying it because Trump has done something they don't like.
Well, I don't know that they're justified. They're calling for the arrest of anyone that was destructive or damaging or hurtful in any way. Hurtful meaning injuring a police officer. So I don't think that's the case. What they are saying, though, is the mayor said to us last night that when you go into a company and just round people up without giving them an opportunity to prove that they have citizenship or they have documentation that allows them to stay there. She was in total disbelief that it could be that all those people, dozens of people, fell into that category of the original sentiment that came out of the Trump administration, which was we are going to find violent criminals and keep them out of the country.
Those are very emotional and sad accusations that are made, but none of them have been proven.
Whom?
You had a report by a state senator in Pasadena today that the ICE who were staying in a hotel as guests rounded up employees and asked them for their ID.
She didn't suggest rounded up. She did not suggest rounded up. No, she didn't say that.
That state senator reported that based on secondhand information. And then your reporter repeated it and asked another person what their opinion was of it. And she never once went into the hotel and said, hey, did any of your employees get stopped by the ICE agents who were guests here? She could have done that, and I'll bet you the answer is no.
Well, she's not here to defend herself. We don't know for sure what Gina Silva, who is an excellent journalist,
I know Gina
done
Silva. She is an excellent
in the
one.
course of her job of putting together a story for our newscast earlier today. Captain Paul Vernon, thank you so much for your opinion and your sentiments in this regard. We really appreciate the fact that you took the time to talk with us.
She hurry up and got him off, didn't he?
Sure did.
You're looking live now here. It is after 8:30 p.m. on a Sunday night in Los Angeles, California. You are looking at downtown LA, a crowd there on the move. These are continuing crowds from the protests that have been happening all day, 3 days straight here. Just a small group here. We do note law enforcement from the LAPD to the Sheriff's Department has been down there on the ground. Not sure exactly why they're continuing to walk. I can only guess that law enforcement continues to move them along, push them along. Again, we saw all day where they basically took over the 101 freeway in one direction and damaged at least one CHP car. Several were there stuck on the freeway until the crowd could be dispersed. LAPD moved in quite strongly this evening, and now you have some stragglers, so to speak, still there in the streets of downtown LA and clearly there on the move.
All right, Matthew Seedorf is on the ground for us in the downtown Los Angeles area. Matthew, you experienced some tear gas. What are you seeing and experiencing now?
Yeah, right now we're outside of City Hall. There's been this ongoing standoff taking place with protesters and law enforcement. This is actually the LA County Sheriff's Department here. We're seeing someone try to get into this barricade right now. You can see him being met with sheriff's deputies. He's trying to explain I'm trying to go this way. But right now they're not letting anyone through here. Looks like he's getting hit with maybe some pepper pellets as he's turning around and walking away. If you want to pan down the street, they've actually pushed, there were probably a couple hundred protesters here just a little while ago. They've pushed them beyond City Hall. Something is on fire in the middle of the roadway, and the protesters kind of got pushed that direction just a little while ago. We saw that police firing those non-lethals, and protesters just retreating that way within the last 20 minutes or so. Elliot, I don't know if we can try to set the scene here, but we believe that it's possible these protesters were trying to take over this part right outside of City Hall. They even have some words up on top of City Hall that they're throwing up there right now. But if you pan this direction, you can see they had this own, they were trying to make their own barricade with these benches in the middle of the street, blocking from coming in to where City Hall is. City Hall, and then Sounds like we're hearing these non-lethals. This is what was happening. So this is kind of what they were firing. Law enforcement was firing at those protesters to get them out of here. You can see what these non-lethals look like. We've seen some people take some hits while we were over on the freeway over that direction. And right now it looks like is something, you can see the fire. Let's see if we can zoom in and see what we're looking at here. Yeah, you can see lots of protesters in the street. And it looks like they're,
and Matthew.
Yeah, scooters, and you can see the fire.
Matthew, farther down that street, there seems to be a greater collection of people. So past the fire, there seems to be a greater collection of people. And, you know, I'm just wondering if they are just hanging around, if they're waiting for police to approach them, or if they're just standing by.
Yeah, we believe that is the group that was outside of City Hall. So they've been pushed now about, 2 or 3 blocks from where we are. They actually had several cars. It looks like their own personal vehicles kind of where that fire was, and some barricade fencing that was there. And then they've retreated now a couple blocks further into the city. There's separate groups right now kind of protesting that we're seeing. There's that one group by the freeway. There's this other one that's kind of going right through downtown, moving from City Hall.
And Matthew, we should point out that you are standing behind a number of sheriff's deputies. So the LASD has come in now into the city of Los Angeles to help with the policing with LAPD. They also, I believe, brought those or did the wire barricades there, that at least the beginnings of it, although right now there's only one. Perhaps the protesters have moved them. At one point, while Chief McDonald was talking in his news conference, we saw a number of the protesters setting up those, you know, A-frame traffic barricades and.
Take notes, brothers. Take notes, sisters. They ain't in East LA with this. They ain't in the barrio. They ain't burning down the barrio. Nah, they went downtown. They took this shit downtown. Yeah, they ain't burning up their neighborhoods. They took it right to where the problem is. Or should I say where they think the problem is. They ain't burning up their neighborhoods. They ain't tearing down their shit.
It seems like they were trying to barricade themselves right here on the street, right at City Hall. For what reason, we aren't exactly sure. Maybe at least try to slow down law enforcement from getting to where they were. Law enforcement came in firing those non-lethals, the pepper spray, the flashbangs, and it looks like those protesters have since pushed back at least a few blocks, but left some fire behind on their way out.
So Matthew, as we are watching this scene here, we are noticing all the cars, the public that is driving by this scene. Reminder of the chaos still happening right now in downtown Los Angeles. It is a Sunday night coming up on 9 o'clock, so perhaps many people are home for the night, not necessarily going out, say as it would be on a Saturday night, but still an area perhaps to avoid. Obviously, downtown is a changed picture from decades ago. Many more people live downtown. It is a place that has quite built up with high rises and restaurants and
yeah, there's actual nightlife in downtown LA now.
Exactly. So many more people downtown who just live there. And so, Matthew, I don't know if you can gauge a feel for, is it people who seem to just be kind of lingering around, people who live in the area, or actual protesters against the ICE raids?
Yeah, hard to speculate. I'd say it's a pretty large assortment of crowd, right? So you have people that were here to protest today, and then there's some noticeable agitators. I mean, especially when we were standing over the freeway, you saw people taking hammers, trying to get rocks to throw down on top of the CHP vehicles. We saw electric scooters being thrown. We saw a cone with some sort of fuel being thrown into the CHP vehicle that momentarily set it on fire. And right now, it looks like, I mean, you can see there's hundreds of protesters where you're looking at right now beyond First Street. And it seems like the sheriff's department here is just trying to hold the line at City Hall. And it's hard to know what's on the other end of the protesters, if there's more law enforcement or if it's just a long, if it goes for a few more blocks.
And we don't tend to think of downtown LA as being a territory patrolled by the sheriff's department. That is LAPD territory. So I'm guessing the sheriff's department is there in support of LAPD.
Which is unusual.
Yeah,
and
they're definitely here to support. You can see LAPD driving by right now, responding to something else, and you can see the protesters giving them a bad time as they're driving by, with that fire there as well.
And we heard from Chief Jim McDonald, who just had a news conference talking about how they deploy, that they were not aware that the federal government was going to be doing ICE raids in Southern California on Friday. And so that caught them off guard. He talked about how it takes them some time to deploy when you have a crowd scene like this, like we saw Friday, like we saw Saturday. And what they do, he said, is they roll 4 people deep in a police car. That is A, for their own protection, B, to get more people quickly into an area. Normally we see 2 people per car. But in a situation like this, they staff it with 4 per car. It takes time to mobilize and get in place, as it probably did, Matthew, for the Sheriff's Department to get there to downtown LA and mobilize with the skirmish line.
And I should point out that the police chief did want to dispel a rumor or some kind of narrative that is out in social media that it took LAPD more than 2 hours to respond to the call for help by federal agents in that federal building. And Chief McDonald said, nope, that's not true. 38 minutes. It would have been faster if not for the fact that the officers knew that they were going to have to go in with gas masks. They couldn't just respond. They would have to be prepared for whatever they were going to face. Now, we have Skyfox in the left corner of your TV screen. We don't know what attracted the pilot there to hone in on that, but we've got Matthew Seedorf on the ground looking towards First Street, and it looks like there are quite a few people and lots of vehicles that are passing through that intersection, and you're nearby City Hall, so there is an attempt, of course, to keep people away from that general vicinity. But what's going on from Skyfox, it's harder to tell. But it certainly suggests that there are a lot of people spread out throughout the downtown Los Angeles area.
And you can see from this aerial shot here, quite an LAPD presence there. Last night, Susan, you were on the air to what, midnight, 12:30?
About midnight.
About midnight last night. So obviously, the police department has a track record from last night as to what we saw in the downtown area. Remember, tomorrow's Monday. We saw the freeway shut down, the 101 freeway. You can't have that on a Monday in Los Angeles, California, where people are going to work.
Well, the mayor actually, when in her news conference earlier today, she pointed out that perhaps it was advisable, if you're able to work from home, to avoid the downtown Los Angeles area. Not because she believes that this will persist into the morning hours, but clearly there's a lot of ways in which the city needs to sort of refresh or clean up or what have you. I do also want to point out that last night, the temperature, the view was nothing like this. We would see things sort of ebb and flow, but it was never quite this number of people, this number of protesters or bad actors, whatever you want to call them. We saw federal agents lob flashbangs and tear canisters, but other than a couple people that perhaps were lobbing a lot of verbal threats or verbal comments, we didn't see very much. There were reports that some of the protesters were indeed throwing rocks. I do want to point out, and Matthew, I don't know if you witnessed any of this, but today LAPD arrested at least 10 people. They say it's a dynamic situation, and clearly the number of people arrested is going to go up. And CHP, because you were right there, right near the 101 freeway when it was overtaken by protesters, they say at least 29 people were arrested. That's what CHP did. And pointing out that while last night most of the arrests were failure to disperse, so that's a low-level offense, correct? But today, this is what speaks to how things have ramped up and how the temperature has gone way up. Now the offenses are getting to be much more serious, including injuring an officer, including ramming a motorcycle into a skirmish line. So you were there yesterday in Paramount, Matthew. Compare and contrast what you witnessed in Paramount versus what you're witnessing now.
Yeah, it's really hard to compare. This one, it seems like it's It's scattered out over several locations. You've had members of law enforcement that were forced to abandon their vehicles on the freeway. We got a firework that just was launched right there. Yesterday, it was Border Patrol right across the street from that Home Depot for reportedly a staging ground. It was mostly Border Patrol at that main scene in Paramount. There was no LASD there or local police department helping them out for a few hours, honestly. And then LASD helped with kind of closing down the freeways in the area, preventing more people from getting in. But it was kind of really focused on that one spot where today feels like it's scattered over several blocks of downtown.
Yeah, it seems more widespread. Skyfox now over a gas station in the downtown area. Again, sometimes we're not 100% sure why the pilot, whomever is handling the camera inside of Skyfox, will focus in on a certain area there. But it does speak to how much traffic, which for a Sunday night at almost 9 o'clock, it's sort of unusual to have that kind of traffic downtown. It's stuck in traffic. It looks like there's a little bit of a traffic jam. Now, the other thing, Matthew, I'm wondering, since you were in Paramount, that community, by the way, is heavily Latino. A lot of people there are concerned about family members, and that is what brought them out. That's what, stoked perhaps their passion against federal agents and Border Patrol, what they were doing in that staging before they went out to do the actual raid. Flags seem to be a part of the protest these days. And I've noticed that there are so many more flags in downtown LA, different kinds, than what we saw in Paramount yesterday. Am I wrong? Was it mostly Mexican flags yesterday that you saw, Matthew?
Yeah, it was Mexican flags. And, honestly, I think today was a little more planned out. I know this morning I was seeing flyers about protests in downtown L.A. Starting this afternoon. And I think yesterday in Paramount just kind of happened. I think someone saw what was happening with Border Patrol vehicles and, posted something on social media and got people to come out to that location way less planned. And then beyond that, it spread. People started hearing about it, and more people kept on showing up, especially agitators as it got later. Today feels like this was more of a plan. People had planned to come out here and protest what they've seen the last few days. With that, some agitators came out here as well.
Yeah, indeed. The chief of police, LAPD's Jim McDonald pointed out that people would come with their backpacks, and inside the backpack would be a cinder block, and then they would take a hammer and break the cinder block apart. And that is why there was just a lot of supply, easy supply of rocks or, I guess, pieces of cinder block, where those people, the bad actors, the instigators, whatever you want to call them, agitators, could from that area over the freeway just lob those hard rocks, pieces of concrete over onto the CHP and those vehicles. So, and then he also pointed something else out, which is very disturbing, that his police officers are getting hit by some kind of liquid, and he's not sure what that is. His officers are going to be worried about what is it that I got sprayed with. And so he pointed out that was no good. And he has said what a lot of people have said, including Bill DeSaley, the U.S. attorney, that thanks to social media, thanks to the fact that everybody has a phone in their hand, that there's a lot of photo and video documentation, and that people will be prosecuted. They will be.
Yeah, you say Gavin Newsom is suing Trump tomorrow, so yeah, it's gonna be crazy, y'all.
Agitators are doing things that are just beyond. This is not a sign of protest when you're spraying police officers, when you're breaking up cinder blocks, etc., in order to be so destructive. And Matthew, you and I have been downtown many, many times. It is remarkable how much graffiti there is. The difference between Friday to today is really remarkable. Every wall that can be marked up, now marked up.
Yeah, there's a lot of graffiti, a lot of vandalism. I heard you talking about the cinder blocks. We saw people taking hammers and breaking pieces of, looked like concrete or pieces of the sidewalk, and that was what they were using to throw onto the freeway on top of those CHP vehicles. And just looking around right now, you can see benches that have been thrown everywhere. You've got the graffiti, and then not to mention, we've been talking about those rocks that were being thrown at members of law enforcement today. It's definitely a very intense situation. As these protesters have moved now beyond City Hall, from where we are right now.
Well, it looks like those sheriff's deputies, they do have the riot shields with them, but clearly they are in a relaxed position. They don't feel the need to use those riot shields. But again, if you're just joining us now, we have LASD deputies on site in downtown LA in the jurisdiction of what would be LAPD. So clearly there's a coordinated effort now between LAPD and LASD.
Joining you back now, Matthew Seedorf. Hi, it's Christine Devine here. We are watching, looks like some kind of medical vehicle coming through the streets on the top of our screen. Not sure where that's headed or if it's tied at all to these protests here. Some kind of ambulance, it looks like, hoping everybody is okay. Also looking at a picture here with a lot of people on motorbikes. We know that's a big Southern California pastime to have bike clubs, motorcycles of all sorts, hoping they're not planning anything, that is other than just enjoying a ride on a Sunday night here. Obviously, we know a lot's going on downtown, a lot's happening, a lot of unrest.
How the hell they enjoying a ride on a Sunday night in the middle of a riot? Come on, fam. What are we talking about?
Fire there. So it is a night of confusion still in Southern California. And if anybody's watching from another part of the country or the world, this right now tonight is limited to the downtown area. I know I had somebody call me from out of state asking if I'm okay. People have texted me, am I okay? Right now, the only unrest we're seeing has been in the downtown area on this Sunday night.
We want to show you some video from earlier today. We've talked a lot about the
haven't
fact
had any
that the
deaths or
101
anything,
freeway
have
was
they?
shut down, and the
Not
fact
that
that
I
Jim
know of.
McDonald pointed out people were coming to the downtown LA area with cinder blocks in their backpack, then breaking them up, and that is in part what allowed for these bad actors, the agitators, to throw them over that overhang and then try to set the police car on fire and what have you. We are also getting this information into our newsroom now that Fox 11 is hearing from officers who are processing arrestees that a staffer with Lucia Aguilar Cole, City Council District 14, was arrested for assault with a deadly weapon. Now, that could be that she lobbed a rock over onto the 101 freeway. Could be almost anything. We don't know specifically what caused her to have that kind of reason for arrest, assault with a deadly weapon, but a very serious accusation indeed.
We are getting this information also. The Little Tokyo Arts District station is closed tonight, according to Metro. Trains are bypassing that station in both directions. The A line is not running between 7th and Metro and Chinatown. Bus shuttles will replace those trains. Now, I'm guessing people who are watching this, not everybody rides the bus or the Metro in that area, but if you know anybody who does, going to or from work perhaps on a Sunday night, trying to get home on a Sunday night, that area is closed due to these demonstrations. And I almost changed the word from protesters to demonstrators to even agitators at some point, as with some people as we look on tonight. But it's enough disruption to not only have closed the freeway today, but now Metro and the bus lines, or the bus shuttles, will replace the trains in that area. Again, it's a Sunday night. Tomorrow's a whole different story, it being a work day here in Southern California. I'm sure law enforcement wants to get everything under control tonight.
All right, I just want to rescind something that I said, suggesting that Lucia Aguilar Cole is with the Council District 14 as in city councilor, city council person, but that is not the case. Council District 14, of course, is Isabel Jurado's district, formerly Kevin De Leon's district. So we're trying to figure out who exactly is Lucia Lucia Aguilar-Cole, but some very serious charges against her, arrested apparently for assault with a deadly weapon.
They talked about the arrest yesterday. If you're wondering, is there any kind of follow-up by LAPD, by the city attorney, the district attorney? Yesterday, LAPD said 29 people were arrested for failure to disperse, one for throwing a Molotov cocktail at police. And they also said that they are, with cameras being everywhere, if you are a true agitator and you think you're getting away with this, they're saying that there are cameras and that they will prosecute and they will take people into account and hold them accountable for their actions. Right now you see a heavy presence by LAPD. This is again in the downtown area. You can see a lot of graffiti with words that we prefer not to show on TV, but unfortunately this is live breaking news. And you can see the remnants of these protests and demonstrations are going to be felt for some time as people look around and see the statements that have been made on somebody's corporate building there, somebody's business there.
Yeah. In the past, I know that the woman who runs the Italian-American Museum of Los Angeles, she was quite saddened, and I hope her building is okay. She's in the basically Olvera Street area, not far from Chinatown, et cetera, but not far from where we are now. And she was quite saddened that that there was graffiti on her building because it's an older material, so very difficult to clean. Not quite sure about like some of the federal buildings and how easy or not it will be to remove the graffiti. Okay, another spot fire there in the street. I believe this is this the turnout that is close to Olvera Street? So across from Union Station is the northern end. Is it the northern end or still close to the MDC, the Metropolitan Detention Center?
Not quite sure on that one, but it is in the greater downtown area. You can see with that heavy police presence there and then somebody setting that looked like a big trash bin, trash dumpster set on fire as motorists are driving by. Just that reminder to stay out of the downtown LA area. And as these ICE raids happen in Southern California and the protesters respond, keep an eye out and ear out for areas perhaps just to completely avoid not to get caught up in the traffic or the demonstrations. Right there, a live picture of City Hall as the nation is watching what's happening here in Southern California. Some in pure shock and awe as they see our city burning right there with a spot fire there in the middle of the street as people are driving by. Is that somebody?
What are you looking at?
I wasn't quite sure what somebody, if they were pushing a cart or a stroller or what. But anyway, you have that street right there in the middle of downtown LA. Obviously, motorists are not able to get through that area. And I'm wondering too, Susan, as we talk about people using their cell phones, how much people are getting a thrill out of posting on their social media, getting that photo for their Instagram or their moment of fame, so to speak.
Yeah, that's a good question, but that does make it easier for either the FBI and Police Chief McDonald, by the way, pointed out that they've got teams that know how to scrape the internet and figure out who you are based upon the social media posts or the video that gets put out there. We just noticed that somebody brought over, we don't know what it was, apparently it is flammable, and put it on that spot fire there, something that was carried over, and it took a couple people to do it because there was some heft to it. And you see now we see other people that have decided to find things that perhaps are flammable. Let's add it to this fire. And you have to wonder, at this point, it's a focus for whomever these people are. I just hesitate to call them protesters because how does this protest the raids by ICE agents? How long were LAPD, law enforcement, allow this to go on, allow this to affect traffic, allow this to become sort of a drawing, a focus for some people that want to hang out in downtown Los Angeles and cause chaos?
Well, what happens is they move from block to block to block to block. In case you're just joining us, this is Fox 11 News. We are on early. Normally we are on at 10 o'clock with Susan Hirasuna. I'm Christine Devine joining in for this live coverage on day 3 of protests here in the greater Los Angeles area here. here. And this is a scene at night. You have this Sunday night scene here in downtown LA. Not a lot of people holding, you know, anti-ICE signs in this crowd. So you have to wonder, look at somebody there as a tripod set up in the middle of the road with a camera as they're.
The lady Lucia Aguilar Cole that they said is under arrest for, I think they say attempted assault with a deadly weapon. She's an actual she's a graduate of UC Davis. She's from Pasadena. She helped out during the Pasadena storms when they had the fires. You know what I'm saying? She's probably a political activist, but very smart woman. I don't know what happened, why she got arrested, but that's crazy.
Just 5 Waymo cars. Whoa. Okay, so now we're doing.
Oh, they're doing donuts
in reverse.
In the intersection.
In reverse, and someone throwing rocks. Okay, what's going on there? That looks very strange. Somebody. I don't know what to make of this. This seems so very dangerous. Obviously, these people throwing the rocks are not happy with that person there. I don't know if they felt this person was endangering them. This is a very bizarre scene there, and why that person would do those donuts like that in reverse. Was that person trying to send a statement? And
oh my God.
Yeah, what's going on? He seems to be having trouble controlling that car, or he's driving erratically on purpose. I think that whomever threw rocks or whatever it was, yeah, he's having trouble controlling that car. Oh, or has decided to go past the those barricades there. This is basically the Alvera Street area, the plaza.
I'm just wondering,
not where traffic typically would go.
Susan, was this person trying to hurt or endanger those that were in the streets there?
I feel like the people in that intersection or near that intersection felt as if, yeah, that this was somebody that was.
They trying to hit somebody.
No.
They trying to hit somebody, y'all.
Driving on the sidewalk. Oh
That's
my gosh.
exactly what's going
This is
on.
very scary here. LAPD, FYI, something's going on here with this driver who is that a sidewalk he's driving on?
Well, that's a part of that plaza area of Alvera Street.
Right.
Not far from the Chinese Museum. And it's clearly not set up for traffic. It was at one point, but now you have all of those balustrades or whatever they're called, the barriers that keep you from driving exactly where he's driving now. And if you've ever been there in an afternoon, oftentimes there will be people that are playing music and dancing. He's going at a pretty high rate of speed.
He's going at the protesters
on a city street where there are people and bicycles of all sorts, whether you're with these demonstrations or not. It makes me wonder who this person is and what statement they're trying to make. Are they trying to agitate the people that are out there on the streets at this hour? Look at the way that driver is driving. Is this somebody on drugs? Are they drunk? Who does that? Who drives in reverse like that in the middle of other traffic, endangering innocent people? That's a scary situation in its own right.
Oh,
he's out of the car now. He's decided to abandon that vehicle. And he's got a hold of a dumpster trying to move it, but unsuccessful. So now he's got to get back in the car. And by the way, I think I saw some shattered glass. I think that the agitators were able to throw a piece of concrete or what have you at him, and he was able broke through the window because then he was throwing things back out again.
Look at the way that driver is driving. That is a very scary scene. It's almost like this person is a rogue person who is out of his mind. And look at the crowd.
Everybody's coming towards him because he's stuck. He's stuck there. Now he's going to do things quite illegally to get out of the way. But it's clear that he was trying to go after the agitators or whomever is left over in the downtown area. And look at that. People are throwing things at him. So apparently the sentiment was, okay, you're not with us. Therefore, you're against us.
Well, look, I mean, the guy was doing donuts in reverse. You could kill anybody like that. He's been driving, it seems to be very erratically. It makes you wonder what the mindset is of this person. Is it someone who just lost their mind? They just don't care who they hurt. They're trying to make a statement or what? But this is something that I'm surprised that we don't have a police chopper over this one, as in a pursuit of some sort, because this behavior was very, very erratic.
He was able to outrun, or thanks to the fact that he's in a vehicle and the other people are on foot. he had to get out of that traffic. So he's decided to back up. And let's see what he's going to do now. Now we're basically, I believe, in the Union stationary, going through Union Station, going through intersections.
Now they're going real
or
fast.
stop sign.
Going through a stop sign.
This is like San Andreas.
Oh, he sideswiped a bicyclist. Oh, is that what happened? Is that we're talking
Yes.
to our booth right
That's
now?
what he's trying to do.
So he sideswiped a bicyclist. That's why the crowd got agitated. But his behavior then, I would say, it wasn't necessarily just in response, because he continues to drive erratically, and not sure the mindset of this person here, but if they were an innocent person just trying to get out of the way, they're not leaving and getting out of the way in a normal fashion.
No, not at all. When he left that intersection, it was sort of interesting the way he was wobbling. I thought perhaps the car was in some way disabled, but no, that was just his way of being somewhat threatening. But he sideswiped a bicyclist. That's what got the rest of the crowd, those that were on foot outside of the vehicle, against him. Now we're in that place where Skyfox is overhead, but you got that high rise there, so it's going to be difficult to see the vehicle. I wonder if he had any idea that, that he was being tracked by a news helicopter.
Again, who knows what went down, how that happened, where a bicyclist was sideswiped? Was it intentional? Did someone get in the way? And then there was a panic scene, but it was very, very bizarre behavior as that person continued to drive around the downtown LA area.
All right, we may have lost that vehicle. Thanks to that big tall building there, but
well, let us hope this driver either calmed down. Got out of the area, and just was not intentionally trying to hurt anybody, because that is a very scary scenario in itself.
Let me just ask the people in the booth now, did he sideswipe that bicyclist in that intersection where he was doing the backwards donuts? Was that where it happened? Because it was, so he, okay, so it was after that, after he left the intersection where he was doing the donuts, and then he actually went through Olvera Street, or the Plaza, rather. Is that him there? That could be him. That is him. Okay, so we're back overhead.
Did we just have law enforcement right there? Did he drive right past law enforcement? We can tell that's him because there's damage to the vehicle.
The damage to the vehicle, and I believe the windows, too, were shattered when people started throwing rocks. But my point is the bicyclist got hit after he left that intersection. And how would those people know that, you know, once you get into Chinatown and adjacent to Union Station, how would you know that this vehicle was involved in, you know, the donut situation? But then I guess as soon as he hit that bicyclist, that was enough for pedestrians or those in the area to realize, oh, you need to be stopped.
Is that a drone? I'm sorry, I see this white light and I'm trying to figure out what that is. It's following
could be a drone
him?
these days.
I mean, is that a drone that's kind of keeping an eye on him? I've never seen that before. So anyway, we have this person still driving erratically here, and that is still very concerning. As we see this person, I'm guessing still in the greater downtown LA area, which makes me wonder about his mindset. Remember, he got out of the vehicle, did not seem to have a shirt on, if I have that correctly, and he was banging on that trash dumpster that people had put out into the middle of the street that are protesting, rioting, whatever.
I think he was trying to move it. Like, I don't know if he thought it could be sort of a barrier or something to affect traffic or affect people. But yeah, we're watching that vehicle. What is, I can't tell if it's a crossover, a van, or whatever. He has been affected by some traffic now and again, and then he would just back up and turn around and like break a lot of traffic laws. But this is unusual because usually we're used to the fact that there would be a police helicopter overhead, and we talk a lot about, like, what's the want? Why are they tracking him? Why are they over him? And this is a situation where Skyfox is over this vehicle. We witness some of the erratic behavior and erratic driving, but we don't know if law enforcement is involved at all.
And again, I'm watching that white light. I have no idea what it is.
Is he still going?
To be following this vehicle. continues to be in our shot.
Yeah, it's so funny, Christine, because you see it on that monitor. I don't see it on this monitor. So it could just be the monitor.
The monitor. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, perhaps you're right. My bad on that. Okay.
But it is unusual.
It is a
for sure.
distracting monitor I'm looking at here, so forgive me if anybody else is seeing this on their monitor. It's a very strange thing. Okay, so let me avert my eyes to another monitor where we see no light here. Okay, so again, what is the mindset of this person, and is this a rogue lone person who's taking matters into their own hands to try to make a statement against those who are still out on the streets?
Exactly. That is the question. And there are definitely people that thought that he's not with them. He's not with the agitators, that he was trying to do something to distract or interrupt what they were doing. At least that's what it appeared to be. He's driving at a high rate of speed, considering he's on a surface
Seems like
street.
he's going faster and
made that
faster.
turn to the
He
left
is.
awful
Yep,
quickly.
he is
I'm missing the smart navigation so we could tell precisely where he is in the LA area. But he's going at a pretty good clip. No one's near him. Whoa, that was a little too close.
Yeah, something is not right with this driver. The behavior is way too erratic to be normal.
trying to get
Not
his
sure
nerves
the
up
area
to
that
do
this
something.
driver is in now, but obviously we've pulled away a
He
little
done
bit
moved
from the
away- he done
downtown
moved
area.
away from the,
Specifically itself
protesting area.
looks a little bit more residential here, and not sure where this driver is now headed, but we've seen some very strange behavior. And when we queue up that tape at some point in time, you'll see exactly what we're talking about doing. We've seen a lot of car scenes where they do donuts in the middle of the street, but in reverse.
Right.
That was crazy. With people around?
Like, it wouldn't have surprised me if there were people that got involved and wanted to do a street takeover, but to do it in reverse, and then clearly to not be as a part of the demonstration that's going on right now. It seemed pretty obvious that he wasn't really a part of what is going on.
They were quite upset.
He wanted to object, or, you know, I don't think that necessarily means he's with the police chief and the mayor of the city of Los Angeles, but regardless, don't know his state of mind. It didn't seem as if he's like, I'm with you guys, because instead, protesters started to throw rocks and concrete at him.
He went to the crib.
And I believe it broke the window, because then he started lobbing things back out of the car.
Is this the vehicle stopped? Like he drove home? And it's... You know, I don't know if this person got
he's
caught.
coming
There
back.
he is right there.
He went and
shirt
got
off.
a. No,
Oh,
he
please
coming
don't get
back.
back in the car.
Maybe he went and got a weapon.
That's the guy that we watched try to move a dumpster unsuccessfully.
I mean, he's got a sense that there's this helicopter overhead. It's you know, it's not overly warm out tonight to be without a shirt on in LA. It does cool down at night, so that is bizarre in itself. But obviously the guy pulled over, parked the vehicle in a normal fashion, and perhaps he is out of the vehicle and he's done driving. Let that be. This is very bizarre.
It's very bizarre indeed. So now he's gone into the back. What is he doing? He's pulling out, oh, I just need to shake this shirt or jacket or something, because now I'm going to put on my jacket. Meantime, he left the driver's side door open. Oh, so he, you know, the reason why, likely, that he's shaking that out is because I'm pretty sure the window on the driver's side was broken.
What the hell is he
at the
doing?
least.
Left the door open. Oh no, getting into another vehicle.
This is GTA.
Right. So I'm sensing this person has. No, they're just opening car doors. Is this their vehicle?
So he was shaking out that jacket, I believe, because it was full of shattered glass from the window. But what is that? So that car is on, and he decided to open the door and throw that jacket in. Meantime, he did leave the door open on the driver's side.
He's talking.
Approaching somebody.
Police.
Oh, police are involved. They are indeed aware and involved.
Well, this is a good thing.
he was standing
If they
there
were
waiting
watching
on
our
him.
coverage here on Fox
He got
11,
5 stars
we
on
had
San
it all.
Andreas. You busted.
So police have stopped this guy from getting behind the wheel of that second vehicle or back behind his own vehicle. Now they can question him
This
to
is
say,
weird as
who
hell.
are you and what the heck were you doing?
What were you doing? And now we have an idea of specifically where he is. Vanna Street and East First Street. So just outside the downtown Los Angeles area. It's odd. He was not very, he didn't resist arrest. He didn't.
Now y'all got all of these protesters downtown. You see what their neighborhood look like. This East Los Angeles. Their neighborhood is quiet. Ain't none of the tenders busted up. Nothing.
I'm not sure. Is she? No, she seems to be talking with that officer. Okay, they're back.
In the meantime, he's like, everybody's got to back up. Everybody's got to back up.
Yeah. Well,
he looks like he's a sheriff's deputy, not LAPD.
Again, it's not an overly warm night to be on the streets like that in shorts with no shirt, and that behavior, you have to wonder about that behavior. Obviously some damage to the vehicle. Talking with people on our team who actually have a better viewpoint of this, he definitely did hit a bicyclist or sideswipe a bicyclist in some fashion, hoping that person is okay. That was after that bizarre behavior of doing those donuts in reverse in the middle of an intersection there.
All right, should we go back to Matthew Seedorf and see what the situation is near City Hall?
Illegal.
You see a lot more sheriff's deputies in that skirmish line there. And we have been watching as more LASD deputies have arrived on scene. That's in part to relieve the LAPD. Some of their officers, I'm sure, have been working long hours, so it was time to bring in some extra resources and personnel power. Still seeing fireworks go off as well. So clearly the people that are just past City Hall, and we noticed that there was an attempt to create sort of a bonfire in the middle of the street. Meantime, that is a lot of sheriff's deputies that have now come in right there in downtown Los Angeles.
It is a Sunday night, and perhaps they're trying to regain control of the downtown area as we head into a new work week. It's going to be an unpredictable work week. We don't know about the National Guard called up by President Trump. We are back now on the scene of that driver. Look at the damage there of the car, who was driving so erratically in the midst of.
If he want to get out, he better tell on Gotti.
At this late night hour, the demonstrators, as we're calling them, don't know this guy's motive. Obviously, this could have ended very badly, as the people were throwing rocks at this vehicle as he was driving so dangerously amidst people there.
Oh, quite a few patrol cars have now arrived at the scene, and we were watching a deputy as he goes into the vehicle searching for what? We don't know. Evidence, whatever, anything that will bolster the case against that driver. Although, frankly, probably the best evidence will be the Skyfox video, where you could see all of his moves, all of his reckless maneuvers outside of downtown LA, towards Chinatown, towards Olvera Street, into that plaza area where cars are not supposed to drive, and then he winds up here at this location near East First Street.
He probably was looking
for
a police
and that other vehicle that was involved. I don't know if law enforcement would know that he actually threw something into another truck rather. Okay. Matthew Seedorf, he's back with us now. Matthew, you've decided to add your mask. Is that because there's a lot of smoke and tear gas being thrown about?
Yeah, we're right in front of City Hall still. The protesters kind of pushed back towards City Hall. So there's the skirmish line with LASD here, trying to hold them where they're at on First Street. We're trying to stay out of their way here. And they are, you can see the fire at the end of the street right now. They are firing those non-lethals, those flashbangs, and they warned us that there will be gas, as there's one right now. So there's going to be some tear gas here momentarily that they are firing across the street. But yeah, you can just see all the protesters over there, and on the other line of this law enforcement, and just flames, and it's pretty chaotic right now. They're trying to put an end to this right now.
Yeah, they've got that bonfire going there, Matthew, and they've successfully kept it lit for a while. But those flashbangs, that is no joke. And the flashbangs and the smoke can be quite helpful in trying to disperse a crowd.
Yeah, those flashbangs are really loud. The smoke is very successful, and we did see an alert from LAPD that essentially all the agitators at this point have split off into separate groups around downtown LA was warning people in the area to be careful of those agitators and possibly causing damage in the area. The sheriff's department was called in here to assist with the LAPD outside of City Hall, as there were protesters that were trying to barricade themselves on this street out front of City Hall. As right now we're following the skirmish line. They're trying to push the protesters further back. You can see the fire is still going on as well.
Matthew, as we watch there, that skirmish line able to make some progress and move forward there, paint the picture where City Hall is. Is it behind you, in front of you? Where is City Hall in relation to this?
Yeah, so City Hall is right here. So we are right next to City Hall where this is happening. And then that's First Street where all this is taking place. So the protesters essentially got pushed back about an hour ago, and now they're coming back this direction. The Sheriff's Department is trying to hold the line and firing those non-lethals. Look at this. I mean, I don't know if you can hear that.
Yeah, we can hear it. Oh. Well, it makes sense.
Flash.
They would want to keep the crowd away from City Hall and hold that line and push them back, and hopefully people will disperse as the night goes on and they get tired and they, call it a day kind of thing. But it is quite a scene, so we can just listen in for a minute.
That's
here.
The same thing I was just thinking of Black Barbie.
Show us the scene.
Wow. And by the way, flashbangs, they do have a tail, and you can see them fly through the air, but they don't explode into fireworks like what we just saw. It was almost as if an agitator had decided, oh, well, I'm going to answer your flashbang with this green firework. I don't know if you noticed that, Matthew.
We just had a flashbang go off very close to us. My left ear is ringing from it. They're making us push back a little bit. Right now, it's hard to distinguish what is fireworks and flashbangs because we're seeing a little bit of mixture of both. Very close to LAPD headquarters, though, just for reference, here outside of City Hall, where this is taking place. And there's also just an immense amount of traffic. I mean, people. You think about what time it is, 9:30 on a Sunday night. All the cars in the area. There's a massive scene taking place. Not normal at all.
I think there's a big looky-loo factor, and people want to get their Instagram video or their shot or to witness things and live it through things that are happening, experiencing things. But really, if you don't need to be in downtown LA, this is an area to avoid because these crowds can be on the move. Police can be on the move. But right now, it looks like this line, Matthew, is designed to hold the line to keep the crowds away from City Hall. And when you pan back to see City Hall right behind you there, it is quite a statement, quite a shot. And if I'm watching from another part of the country, whether I've been to Los Angeles or not, whether I know LA well or not, it is quite visual to be watching this on TV.
Yeah, it feels like the whole...
If they want to stay in America, why they ride around the Mexican flags on? That's kind of crazy, but you know what I'm saying? If you light skinned, you better have your ass in the house. That's all I'm saying.
We're not even anywhere close to LA Live or SoFi State. I'm sorry, Crypto.com Stadium. They're farther north, away from that area.
Yeah, I was thinking back because just a few hours ago we were inside City Hall. We had a press conference with LA Mayor Karen Bass, and while we were inside the press conference, you could hear those flashbangs going off while we're interviewing the mayor about the protest taking place outside. Pretty eerie feeling with that, and now just standing out here in front of City Hall and seeing what's taking place.
They got the taco truck.
It's pretty unbelievable.
Can you show us again the pan shot, or have your cameraman turn back to show us really how close you are to City Hall? And if you can reflect back on the words of the mayor and how she described what she was seeing with the protesters and saying that there is no place for violence or unrest. Talk about that as we look at our beautiful building all lit up in colors, and then we have this contrast with the colors of a scene of chaos downtown.
Yeah, the mayor was saying that there's no place for violence. She was condemning the violence and says that it needs to stop. She was also blaming the Trump administration for what was taking place after they called in the National Guard. But yeah, just looking at what we see right now, again, the flames, you can see flags, as well as traffic, and it looks like there's a pretty significant crowd on the other side of the street there. And at this point, I mean, I don't know if you want to call this a standoff, but police or sheriff's department's here staring and looking at the protesters on the other side.
Yeah. We should point out that the reason why City Hall is all lit in different colors, I believe it's because of Pride Month, because Pride Month is June, and typically over the course of the year, the city will change the lighting for the beautiful City Hall. And so right now, I think it's multicolored for Pride Month.
Well, and it was LA Pride this weekend.
Exactly.
So it was a weekend of celebration in the gay community with LA Pride happening with the parade and the concerts, and then this going on, and as well as BET Experience at all also this weekend downtown.
Right. Exactly. So always a lot of things going on downtown. What is not expected is to have this kind of activity from agitators. Notice we're not calling them protesters. Yes, there were a lot of people that wanted to protest the ICE raids that started in Paramount, and then we had all kinds of activity that moved up to Compton and then eventually into the downtown area. They're not that far away from the focus building the building that we were focused on a lot last night, which was the MDC, the Metropolitan Detention Center, also known as a federal building where a lot of the federal agents were housed, and where U.S. Attorney Bill Saley was saying that the reason why they started lobbing tear gas from the gates of the MDC was because that the agents felt threatened by the protesters that were outside of right next to on Alameda.
Matthew, as we see that white smoke, those are the canisters of what that is trying to push back the protesters?
Yeah, it looks like they're using some sort of pepper spray smoke that they're throwing that direction. And then you can see some other protesters.
You notice when that taco truck came through, ain't nobody slang no type of flashbangs or nothing. We got to protect the taco truck at all costs.
But it looks like the deputies kept firing those little pepper pellets, pushing them out.
Yeah, those pepper balls
Miss
are
T.
pretty potent as well.
Miss T.
Huh?
I'm finna hop down.
Okay.
All right, salute to everybody in the chat.
All right, thank you for coming up.
Yeah, no problem.
Before at least
Viva la
the
Mexico.
demonstrators.
Yes, this wild.
Cypress, I thought you was asleep.
Nah, I'm watching these fools out here in California.
Oh, okay. Well, that was interesting. Let's see. Thank you, Ray, for becoming a member.
Yeah, that's crazy. There's been some black folks, there's been some dead black folks. Yeah, I'm just telling everybody.
But you know what? I'm like Hitter. If it had been black folks, they would have been tearing up their own damn neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know, they would have been setting on. I remember when they did the Carters did the riots in Memphis a few years back. I forget what they was mad about. They was mad about something that had happened, I believe, in Missouri. And they was all in South Memphis, and when they went downtown, they broke out the window of a black shoe company that was downtown. Black man that's owned the shoe company for years, many years, even before we was born. And they live downtown, and his wife said, "Oh my God, they're down, they're knocking out, busting out the window." What was that for? You busting out the window of a black business, but you're tearing up a black business, setting stores on fire in their own neighborhoods. Like I said, ain't got skates to get to nowhere. Okay. The only cars they had was a stolen car. A lot, people don't like it when I talk like this, but we got to tell the truth, because if we're gonna be proactive, we gotta organize. Our community is totally disorganized, so they going and setting on fire the only black store corner store in the neighborhood that they can walk to and get bread, get meat, all that. Okay. They pulling the soda machines out of the store. They breaking in there, stealing all the damn bread. Now, the only store that was in the neighborhood, okay, that was convenient for them in their neighborhood, because they're not going outside of their neighborhood. I'm talking about our damn twisted community. Okay. I could talk about the black community because I'm in the black community. Our damn twisted community. And then what they do is, after they do that, okay, they steal the soda machines, go and tear up all the damn black businesses. They done set Miss Julie's house on fire. They set their own damn mama house on fire. Okay. Then they take their asses to sleep. Okay, don't get up and go to no job and sleep. And then they wake up the next day at about 6 o'clock. It's time to loot again. Slob and shit running all out their mouth, boogers in their eyes and shit. It's something wrong with our community. Because I get to thinking about when Dr. King and them led the People's March, they got results. And it is because they knew how to organize. They didn't go tearing up their own communities that they got to live in. Now you done tore up your own community. And then sit up and say, the white man's that's that. You got your black ass up and went and burned up the houses in your own damn neighborhood. Okay? So something has to happen as it relates to our community. Like Alabama Hilda said, those Hispanics not in their community, they downtown. And all of the money is downtown, but you see, they have not fired not one shot. Okay? Because normally where the money is, that's where they start to use a lot of force. They ain't did nothing. They let the taco truck come and clean in the middle of downtown LA to feed the folks. It's burning up the police cars.
And won't touch the taco truck.
Won't touch the taco truck.
They dare them to touch the taco
or
truck.
the people that's trying to burn up the police cars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they dare them to do that.
Okay. So, are there any black people out there that's helping them?
Probably not. Not in California.
Okay, because I was going to say, I don't really see a whole lot of Hispanics gathering with us for a movement.
And they ain't. They gonna stay clean out the way.
I haven't seen the movie Straw yet. I've been hearing a lot of people talk about the movie Straw, but I haven't seen it. I'm gonna have to sit down and watch it one day. Because I think it was on Prime. Either that or Netflix. I didn't click on it.
Bro. They got California. I'm surprised they didn't kill dude that was in that van. All the time, LAPD would took the nigga right there.
Yeah, they took him out because he was trying to hit somebody. It was almost like he was trying to commit like a terror attack or something.
Yeah.
But they probably knew he wasn't black.
Mm-hmm. He been black, he was got like 50 bullets.
I mean, they savages down there too. Oh.
Well, in California.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, they don't play, and they gonna stick together.
I tell you.
And if you ain't one of them, you ain't gonna be too quick to go in that neighborhood nowhere.
Yep, they absolutely sticking together.
They ain't going for it at all.
I didn't see that. Were they looting? I didn't see them looting.
No, they were just blowing up police cars. When you see some looting, that's how you know it's us. Y'all want to know when it's us involved in some shit getting to
Lord have mercy. We sure got to do better in our community, y'all. We do. We got to do better.
Mm-hmm.
But it ain't us this time. I'm. Listen. I don't mean no harm, but I'm happy that the blacks is staying out of everybody else's business. That don't get into really don't get into anything of ours when there's injustice in our community. Hispanics don't get into the black people's business.
Oh,
They don't do it.
here come the Memphis activists talking about the California people wrong. They won't mind their own damn business. It's coming. Mm-mm. Black folks
Yeah.
will jump up black folks will jump up and down for Cinco de Mayo. You don't see Mexican people doing that.
Mm-mm.
Uh-uh. It's always the niggas, boy. You ain't gonna never see them jumping up and down for Juneteenth.
Or Black History Month.
Nah. Mm-hmm. Nah, nigga. People gotta get it together, man. But yeah, but black people, this ain't our fight. Stay out of it.
Yeah, because the moment the blacks get in it, they're gonna start getting gunned down. So just stay away from it.
What you owe you? As long as the niggas ain't involved, nobody ain't gonna die. Unless they drink too damn much. And that's about it.
It seemed like to me they can't get hit because that man was trying to hit somebody and they did nothing to him.
Mm-mm. Yeah, they watched it and did nothing.
They need to see what it was that he threw into their car. There's no telling what he had in his mind to do.
Yeah, I'm just glad nobody really got seriously hurt.
All right, Cypress, I'm getting ready to get off here. It's been 3 hours.
All right, y'all.
All
I'll
right,
probably
you guys.
stop out
Listen, you guys. I really enjoyed you all tonight. I'm getting sleepy, and I need to put some clothes in the dryer and a load of clothes in the wash. So,
Yeah, shopping online in front of all them lights make you sleepy, ladies.
I was good. Let me see. I'm gonna show y'all what I was getting ready to order. I had been wanting to see these pants on sale. For some reason or another, I like them. I'm gonna dress it up real nice. I'm gonna show y'all the pants that I was getting ready to order. I'm gonna dress these up real nice with some heels and a top. Let me see. Here they go. Let me make sure ain't no information showing, child. Before let's see, because I know I'm halfway sleepy. Let's see, blah 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 blah. Nothing showing, nothing showing. Okay. Me some cute pants. Here they go. I like those. Super cute.
Okay.
I could do quite a bit with that. That's pink, yellow, green. I got to figure out what color heel I want to wear with it. It's going to depend on the shirts. But I could do a lot with that. Because I know how I like to do it. Because I'll put on a pink top and I see that yellow and green in those pants. I put on a yellow top and put on some pink heels. That's how I like to do it. I like a lot of color blocking. Let me show y'all what else. And I'm going to get it. Everything else is just some comfortable um, leggings and stuff to be able to dress up and put on some comfortable shoes with. Anyway, y'all, I need to check out. I need to put some clothes, take some clothes out the washer, put some in the dryer, and then put some in the wash. Anyways, you guys, I enjoyed you all. I appreciate your support so much. If you haven't gotten the membership, please do get the membership. I think this would be a good time to get the membership as we get ready to see what's going to happen, right? As we're going into the months are going by pretty fast. So I think September the 28th will be here before you know it. It's just a month away. So,
You mean July? You said July or September?
July.
Okay.
It'll be here before you know it. And that's when Quest trials start. And so I'm anxious to see what's gonna happen. And yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what's gonna happen as it relates to that trial. So if you haven't got your memberships, get your memberships. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. Yeah, I want you all to know how much I appreciate you all of the new subscribers, all of my day ones, all of the support that you all give the channel. I do appreciate you all so very much, even if I get busy and I don't say it all the time. As I always say, you all make the channel what it is, right?
Praise the
You
Lord.
all make it what it is. So I am forever grateful to you all for that. Hey, anyways, all right. If you haven't liked the channel, like the video, please do like the video. I did put up a video earlier. Go back and look at the video. It's called Black Youngster. It's on Demon Time. So y'all go and check that video out. Hit the subscription button. Share it on your channels, okay? Or share it on your social medias to help the video to circulate, okay? I love you guys. It has been an absolute pleasure, okay? I'll talk with you all tomorrow. Good night, Cypress.
Good night.